It is the most famous racetrack in the world, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. The Xfinity Series here a year ago on the road course and put on an incredible show. We saw Chase Briscoe get the win. Ty Gibbs has won at one of the most prestigious and probably most famous NASCAR track ever at Daytona when he won his very first Xfinity Series starts at Daytona at the road course. Can he make it a double as far as the most famous racetracks and get a win here today? We're about to find out. Let's take a look at the starting grid for this race. Up front, it will be A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. Those are two that we have expected will run well. They ran well a year ago, and they start on the front row.
You mentioned Ty Gibbs back there in row 3. He'll start next to Riley Herbst, to be chasing some of those points, trying to make it in the playoffs. Harrison Burton in row 6. Daniel Hemrick still searching for that first win in row 7.
A little more experience for Kevin Harvick. Hasn't run the road course here, so he'll run the Xfinity Series in the road course. Sam Mayer, you see to the rear. He'll be starting back in row 12 beside Jeff Burton. Chase Elliott also filling in for Michael Annett. He'll be in that number 1. He starts in row 13. He said, "I did not qualify well. I hope I do a little bit better."
Yeah, I was shocked to see that he was one of the favorites in Vegas, even though he's in a fill-in role. It's going to be exciting to see. As you see some other names that'll fill out. We have Castle to the rear. James Davison jumped in as a relief driver as well. Ryan Sieg.
All right, Steve, let's see if we can dial up Justin Haley. We've talked a little bit about him and the successes he could potentially have here in his home state.
All right, let's try to catch him up here. Hey, Justin, it's Steve Letarte and all the guys up in the NBC booth. You got a copy?
I got one.
Might have walked on him there for a second. Let's try it again. Hey, Justin, Steve Letarte and all the guys up in the NBC booth. You got a copy? Seems like we have a little radio issue, which, look, that happens at road courses. They have the same challenge with the spotters all the way around here trying to get radio communications. We are definitely add us to the list. We're having
third time a charm, or
why not? I'll strike out. Let's try it. Hey, Justin Haley, Steve Letarte, and the guys up in NBC. You got a copy?
Not going to press that.
I don't think he wanted to talk to me. I think he changed. Well, I'd like to thank Leaf Home Solutions for the in-car camera. Justin Haley for giving us the clearance to talk to him under the pace laps. Hey, we were unable to connect. Hopefully we don't have a stop in the action, but if we do, we'll give him a ring then, see if we can talk to him then. Let's go down to pit road and Dave Burns.
And Steve, what a spectacular run this weekend for first-time team, the number 24, driven by Will Rogers, and the onboard camera being sponsored by Good RX. The team has another car in the race, that's Sam Hunt Racing, the number 26, but this 24 team, they had to get in on speed. Will Rogers did it, and Good RX is going to give you this view all day long. Parker?
Right, Dave, and Ford Performance is going to give us a great view from Austin Cindric's onboard camera here as we look right back at him there. We'll get to see him doing shifting and turning left and right all day. Austin Cindric was in the thick of that awesome battle that we saw last year, ended up finishing 5th. But remember, this racetrack has so much history for him. His family has history here. His car owner, Roger Penske, owns the racetrack. It would mean the world to go to victory lane here. Starting second, he has a good shot.
And Parker, he's the only Penske entry. Now, Will Power, driving for Penske, won the IndyCar earlier today. If they're going to do the sweep, it's all really on Austin Cindric's shoulders as we look at this road course, Steve.
Yeah, so as you mentioned, Indianapolis Motor Speedway used the 2.5-mile oval, but now we're on the road course. The track itself, just under 2.5 miles in length, it uses the front straightaway here in Indianapolis, going the different direction. 14 corners, really in 2 different areas. 1 through 6 down at one end of the racetrack, 7 through 14 at the other end of the racetrack. 62 laps, both the first and the second stage, both 20 laps in length. The final stage, 22 laps. The fuel window, 34 to 36 laps. So you can do this stop or this entire race in just one stop if you time it correctly. Last year, the leaders stopped twice. They thought tires were more important on a late yellow. We'll just have to see how this race plays out. And back to Roger Penske. As I came up from Countdown to Green, I rode with him in the elevator in the Pagoda. Excited about the IndyCar win, and I'll let Austin Cindric know he's going to the roof to watch his second entry at the racetrack he owns. So it was great to run into the captain.
A bird's eye view for the captain for this Xfinity Series race. And I know a guy who's had boots on the ground, has been hanging out with the celebrities around the racetrack, is Rutledge Wood.
Oh, Rick, it's been so fun to be here today. You know what? This place brings friends together. I want to show you a picture of 3 friends from Atlanta that came up here to race this weekend. That's Ryan Eversley, Andy Lally, and Spencer Pumpelly. All 3 of these guys, IMSA Racers champions. They came up here. These guys, Spencer's running the 0 for JD Motorsports. Andy's in the 78 for BJ McLeod. Ryan gave it his best shot to try to qualify the 6 for JD Motorsports. Came up just a few tenths short. But if you're looking for some different names to pull from, these friends from Atlanta love racing, stick together. They are going to put on a show out here on the road course today, Rick. That is for sure.
That's very good. You always love racing with your friends.
Until you run into them is what I've usually found out. They're your friends for a certain amount of time.
Not so friendly. All right, Steve, you've given us the kind of the broad view. Let's take a bird's eye view of this racetrack. And we talk about the twists and turns, and you guys have called it kind of the short track of road courses.
Yeah, 1 through 6, that turn complex. Mike Bagley will be down there from 6 to 7. We call that the back straightaway. 7, 8, 9, 10, kind of the switchbacks, and then back onto the racetrack for 11 to 12. One more little kink, slow down corner in turn 13, and then back onto the front straightaway to cross the famous yards of bricks. Just going the opposite direction on the yard of bricks. And that's worth pointing out because the opposite direction, you know, we pick on it, but it's different. It's different for the pit crews. The cars will be backwards on pit road. Pit entrance is very different than we've ever seen. It's a very narrow kind of one-lane entrance. So if we see green flag pit stops, that could definitely take into account who has the best chance to win later today. There it is right there. Yep. Driver's right will be coming at you. And pit road speed doesn't begin until all the way down around this corner to the yellow line. So I know you and I were out there in the pace car, and it's narrow.
Very narrow.
You didn't look comfortable. I thought we were going to be fine. You looked nervous.
I was a little nervous. And the pace car has put the field into the hands of A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. Allmendinger have been winning a pole.
And it's going to happen right away as they come through these last set of corners. They're going to accelerate down this long front straightaway into turn 1. 90 degrees, heavy, heavy braking.
Once again, excited to bring this race to you radio style, meaning we will hand it off from voice to voice as we go around this just under 2.5 mile road course here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Once again, the Xfinity Series at the famed Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Coming to the green flag to get this one underway, A.J. Allmendinger and Austin Cindric. Up through the gears they go. 2 by 2, and already jockeying for position as they get ready for the right-hander. Turn number 1.
Here they come into the corner. A.J. Allmendinger first there. His teammate Justin Haley darts to the inside. 3 wide further back. Everybody trying to get their footing coming into the corner. It's Justin Haley now that will grab the lead over A.J. Allmendinger, who slipped in turn number 2. Now they're side by side for second. Here's Austin Cindric. A.J. Allmendinger wheel to wheel as Justin Haley begins to pull away out of turn 6.
Haley driving away as the field tries to run side by side through that kink that is 5 and 6. Oh, we got cars contact back there between several cars. Cars going around. 07, the 36 car. Rest of the field barrels down into turn 7.
I get it running.
Got a lot of guys here in turn 7 having to come to a stop because they missed the corner. Through 8, 9, and 10, everybody makes it through, Jeff.
Yeah, they're headed this way. You see the 90 car. He is stopped on a racetrack. Preston Pardis. They're sailing right now with 11, Austin Cindric. Here's Ty Gibbs taking a fight to Allmendinger. Allmendinger off track. Got to get himself back on. Working himself back into the racetrack. Cars just flying by him, though.
So uncharacteristic of A.J. Allmendinger. 2 corners that he missed on the first lap of the race.
Yeah, it started at turn 1 as we now see yellow on the racetrack. Turn 1, lap 1, A.J. Allmendinger misses the corner, loses the lead to Justin Haley. This is the reason for the caution. We have Pardis. Unfortunate for the 90. Preston Pardis had a great qualifying effort. Look at Brandon Jones. Huge damage to the front splitter of that car. And it looks like the right rear quarter panel. Obviously heavy contact for the 19. What a chaotic first lap.
So let's take a look at this. There's Kevin Harvick as well with a little bit of damage. This is through the kink of 5 and 6. Look back behind the lead cars. Somebody catches a little air. The 19 and the 90. Oh, that looks like Harrison Burton gets up in the air. Everybody behind him, oh, they're all jumping that curb. Goodness gracious. See that orange curb? It's on the outside edge of that exit of turn 6. and it is extremely aggressive apparently, and a lot of these guys destroyed their race cars jumping across that. So when you're going through turn 5 and 6, it's a full throttle corner. It's a kink, but you cannot see the curbs when you're following other cars through there. Those guys had no idea what they were approaching to when they ran wide, and here is later in the lap, the 16, missing the corner again. Just easy to do here, Jeff.
Yeah, it really is. Just battling Ty Gibbs, trying to carry a little bit too much speed on the outside. But this is amazing to me that all of these cars, all these drivers hit this curb. It just, you know, it makes me wonder what surprised them. Like, see, Noah Gregson, he was right there. You didn't see his car move like that. It's really odd looking that these cars, they had practice yesterday, and it's multiple ones that are hitting that curb. It's even back behind, they're still hitting it.
And Steve, that's a curb that I know that between IndyCar and NASCAR, they had talked about making some changes as far as the turtles, putting the turtles out there on the track.
Yeah,
So you see how far on the outside of this curb. See, the blue and white curb is the exit of turn 6. Now the cars are allowed to go wide of that for sure, but this red curb right here in the screen, I don't believe they were actually getting that far out, and apparently some of these cars a little bit lower than others in that particular part of the racetrack and just attack that curve the wrong way.
It caught a lot of them off guard, and so the caution has come out here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. We'll be back for the restart.
Under yellow here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway after a bizarre first lap where a lot of cars made contact with that orange curb. So this is practice yesterday on board with Justin Haley through the same area, and stop and look right there. You see that orange curb? I question, was it there? How did the drivers not know it was there? Well, this was practice. It proves it was on the racetrack. So Jeff Burton, Dale Jr., I'll kick it to you as our race car drivers. Do you think this is purely going through there too wide, totally different, and they had no idea that curb was all the way out to the left? Harrison Burton, huge damage.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you never got pushed out there. You never pushed your car that hard to get out there. So even though it was there, I bet they never even saw it. And then when you go through there side by side, the guys underneath you, remember, the guy underneath you, he didn't know it was there either. So the racetrack, he believes, is all the way out to the grass. So he's pushing his car as hard as he can and just pushing the guy on the outside out toward the grass, not toward that curb. Now, they all knew it was there, should have known it was there. Why is it there? I don't understand why it's there. The grass should be the limiter, not that curb.
That's a legitimate question on why they feel it needs to be there. I will say that track limits is a big conversation in road course racing and how much off track they want to run. There is grass to the driver's left there, but to Jeff's point, it wasn't new. Let's listen into the 99 of Kevin Harvick about his view of the incident.
Perfect, Rebel. We all just hit some, whatever was on the outside.
Got a tire down or anything? I can't see yet.
The whole front's knocked off, the sway bars off, everything.
So, you know, it's awful to say, but Kevin Harvick told us before the race, hey, I want to run this race to kind of learn about the ins and outs of the racetrack. Well, Dave, I'm not sure this is exactly what Harvick wanted to learn, but a lesson I'm sure he has learned, and all the Cup guys watching will have to definitely make note of that curbing.
There is one to check off the list. Do not get wide in turn number 6 to the left, because you're going to hit that turtle. But they may try to repair this 99 car just to get Kevin back out there and get some laps. He could learn something similar. Biggest problem is they have a fitting knocked off the power steering pump, so they'll want to work on that. And as he mentioned, the anti-roll bar or the sway bar knocked off where it attaches to the chassis. So a lot of work to do. We'll see if they get Kevin back out here to learn some more about this track, which we just learned can be treacherous if you're way offline.
Yeah, we saw the 20 of Harrison Burton. A lot of damage to the front of that car as well. Listen to his radio.
Big damage. He just ran us straight over the rumble strip. I did. I was on his outside. He just ran me all the way to the rumble strip.
So drivers, you know, pushing the limits of trying to get through that turn.
Yeah, so he's not complaining about the curbing being out there. He must have felt like he knew it was there, but he felt like he got run over. And look at the huge ramp. 4 cars in a row. I mean, and then here comes Harvick, a 5th. The 36 of Alex LeBay, he's almost to the outside of it.
Yeah, Steve, the cars underneath the cars on the outside, they didn't know it was there, right? So their limit is they're trying to put the car on the outside all the way to the grass, right? And so they didn't even know that thing was there, and they ran the guys into that curve not even understanding it. Makes me wonder, was it there last year? It really, because every driver was surprised.
Yeah, there's always makes changes to the road courses. I'm not sure about last year, to be quite honest, Jeff. It's but this is huge damage for all of the leaders.
We're going to try it again, and A.J. Allmendinger, Justin Haley actually will be up front now, as Austin Cindric will be beside him. Allmendinger struggling on that first lap, has fallen back to the 4th row. So Haley on the inside now. Ty Gibbs already looking to the inside, trying to make a pass. He's got Justin Haley outside him. Austin Cindric running second right now. And Haley is going to navigate turn number 1 first.
They'll grab the lead out of 1 through 2. Austin Cindric will get second. Here's Justin Allgaier giving Ty Gibbs the business. That's the side-by-side battle for 3rd. Allgaier in the 7. You've got Gibbs in the 54. Here they come through 5 through 6. Let's see if they keep it out of the rumble strip there, and they do, and set sail for turn 7.
Everybody through clean without any more damage on that rumble strip. Look at Noah Gragson to the outside. Not really the preferred line right here going into this turn 3 wide. Really tight battles here through 8, 9, and 10. Gonna see some awesome racing through here all day long. Headed to you, Jeff.
Yeah, there's so much fun through here. Cars are really slow in this section, and then they lead to this part of the racetrack where they're in the gas really hard. This is a great opportunity to try to outbrake someone. This is where A.J. Allmendinger ran off course just a little bit ago into the grass. See Myatt Snyder, he and Noah Gragson having a good battle. Look how slow they are right here. This is where these cars are going to get bunched up all day. We're going to see contact from the start to the end.
Noah Gragson, we saw him a year ago throw his hat into, or his name into the hat as far as the mix for trying to get the win a year ago. Noah Gragson running strong here as he's running in the 7th position, but it's Myatt Snyder who's making the move as he goes by that 9 and has the preferred line on the inside.
He'll dive it in deep coming into 1. This is for a battle just outside of the top 5. Gragson, though, will grab the spot back. And as you're right on board there with Will Rogers, he's got a great front row seat of Daniel Hemrick's back bumper. Hemrick is trying to get in this mix as well. They're working to the right-hander turn 4. Rogers just trying to slide it through, down underneath, but he can't make that pass as they head through the chicane.
Out of the chicane, a guy trying to recover a lot of lost positions there. A.J. Allmendinger watches this battle in front of him. They head down into turn 7. A.J. looks to the inside of Myatt Snyder. Thinks a little bit better of it, falls back in line. Hemrick looking for an opportunity to take advantage of anybody who gets off line here. It's easy to do in this part of the track. You mess up one corner, it's going to mess up all the rest.
100%, Junior. You mess up the start of these corners because they're so slow, it just compounds the problem. Riding along here with Will Rogers, a good RX camera. You can see this 90-degree corner, how slow they get and how close they get. One little mistake, it's easy to get into the guy in front of you. This battle continues. Look at A.J. Allmendinger trying to stay out wide to get a big run on Myatt Snyder heading to the front straightaway.
Rick, we talked so much about that curbing. Maybe we should go back. You know, A.J. Allmendinger was the pole sitter to this event and just so uncharacteristic. Missed turn 1, missed another corner, and it's given up some spots all the way back in the 8th position.
Right now, A.J. Allmendinger is trying to regain that lost ground. He had a horrible first lap and found himself near all that chaos that broke loose through turns 5 and 6. Here's Dinger in the 16. You got Myatt Snyder in the 2. They're racing for the 7th position. Now, Dinger's gotten by Snyder. Now he's trying to set Saildale to get closer to the front, but he's got a lot of ground to make up after he lost all of it there on the opening lap sequence.
He's one of the best. If he can make that ground up, he'll do it. All the cars fishtail out of turn 6, down that straightaway into 7. Haley still leads. Cindric, Allgaier, Gibbs the top 4. They switch back and forth, changing directions through turns 8, 9, and 10. The rest of the field following through. No major drama over here, Jeff.
Yeah, back up front. See the 7 car, Justin Allgaier. Good road racer. Trying to run down these guys in front of him, and then maybe the hottest guy in NASCAR, Ty Gibbs, trying to put the pressure. Allgaier, such a slow part of the racetrack, trying to use all the curb. This is such an important corner, 14, because it leads to the front straightaway where you and Rick and Steve are.
All of us. And Allgaier out in front right now of Ty Gibbs. Has a lot of pressure on him, Dave.
He does. Let's watch down into the braking zone. I'm not doing radio style, but I'll sound like it. Here comes Ty Gibbs. He looks down to the inside, and Allgaier is going to have the outside line. Ty Gibbs the preferred line, but now Allgaier will have the inside coming back. Both solid road racers. Allgaier was so much more experienced, but this year Ty Gibbs has been just spectacular.
Ty Gibbs going to take over that position from Allgaier. And right behind them, a guy who really needs a great run today, Riley Herbst in that 98. Sitting on the outside looking in on the points into the playoffs with the net out of this race. It's a great opportunity for him to get a chunk of points today. He needs a smooth day. He needs to get as many points as he can through these stages and a great result.
And this is the kind of racetrack that I think suits Riley Herbst. He hasn't had the finishes, but he runs his best on the road courses. Even last year, watching him, he led some races. He does a nice job on the road courses. This is an opportunity for him, and I think he'll take advantage of it. I think today is just his comfort zone. He can relax a little bit. Just go do his thing and put the pass behind him. Just go lay some points down, trying to get himself in these playoffs.
And of course, it's going to be a big points day for Riley Herbst. Mike Lynette not in the field. We take a quick break. Make sure to download the official app of NASCAR and follow the action with free live scoring. You can get in-car cameras as well as a radio broadcast. Just search NASCAR in your app store, and you can download and start a free trial today. You're watching the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard. And a great vantage point right here. Justin Haley out in front, bumper cam right on the asphalt here as he will get back into turn number 1. He right now has a almost 1 second lead over Austin Cindric.
What a great shot, Rick, coming into 1. This is the left-hander, turn number 2. And you can hear Haley just working the throttle through this end of the racetrack. You really want to mash the gas right here, but you can't. You got to be patient, and you got to exercise a level of finesse. This is the right-hander, turn 4, right on the rumble strips. And here's that chicane that set people in fits on that opening lap. He just glides right through there, off course, and brings it online onto the back straightaway.
Yeah, running by yourself, that's wide open through that chicane all the way down. And you chip a little bit right there in the braking zone. That's a great notification to
I know you're trying to get it going.
start braking. Stay off the curb in turn 7. It'll shoot you to the right. I'll put you offline for turn 8 here. Use a lot of the curb in 8, 9, and turn 10. These are flat curbs. You can drive all over the top of them.
So here we see right here the 39 car. Let's see what happened to Ryan Sieg. Just drives in the corner, trying to carry as much speed as he can. Oh, under throttle. Just trying to lay the throttle down. The rear tires didn't stick for him.
He was running in the 31st position and loses that with the spin. Parker.
Well, Rick, Brandon Jones was one of those cars in that initial off of turn 6 issues with the curb. So you and I were just discussing it. You knew it was there, but you thought maybe the cars in front of you would have seen it when you guys all hit it.
Yeah, our vantage points are so tough in these cars, you know, especially when you're packed up that tight, especially after a restart. Like you said, we all knew it was there all weekend long when none of us hit it. It's the fact that when we just cannot see anything, you have to go off of what the guy in front of you is doing. My idea and thought process was, okay, I need to get set up to the left for that turn 7 on that left-hander. So kind of using that runoff room there. And at least I go back and look at the replay. I'm not the only one that did it. A lot of really good fast race cars got destroyed in that. So man, I hate it for Menards. I hate it for Atlas. All they do for us in the sport, and didn't even make a lap today. So we had a super capable of winning this race, and our road course program is really getting incredible these last couple of races. So unfortunately, we're getting closing down to the end of them, but we'll continue to push and go to the next week because we've got fast supers.
Understandably frustrated, Rick.
Yeah, frustrated as we see Riley Herbst get by Allgaier. We go back to that incident that took place, which collected Brandon Jones.
So Paul Harvey, we went back, try to get the rest of the story. On the left-hand side last year on board with Justin Haley, you see right here, no orange curbing. On the right-hand side, you see it. It exists right here. Now, it's obviously to me that Justin Haley is using less curbing as it was. We asked NASCAR why the curbing was there as we see Ryan Sieg spun around again, and they basically said that asphalt to the left of the curb, it's not racing asphalt. It doesn't look like this. It's deteriorating. The condition's not very good. The track wanted to put some curbing in there to encourage the drivers to stay more on the racetrack. You heard from Brandon that he was clear that it was there. Bagley, I just think the drivers, you know, like he said, he thought the guys in front of him wouldn't run it over. So if they went in there, he thought he was in the clear.
Well, at least they know now, but unfortunately there had to be some sacrificial lambs, and those 4 that ran over them are in the garage trying to fix damage, and one's back out on the racetrack. Here's a battle for the lead. You're on board with Austin Cindric. He's running in second. He's caught Justin Haley. He just can't get by him. Cindric waiting for the opportunity to shut it down and maybe take the lead for the first time of the afternoon.
But how about the job Justin Haley's doing? We look at Austin Cindric as maybe one of the best road racers in the field next to A.J. Allmendinger, and Justin Haley, who had an amazing result here last year, sits here and paces the field right out in front of Cindric. Cindric maybe a little bit quicker, but can get no closer than this right here as they go into turn 6. A little slip right there from Haley. Those things right there will allow that 22 to close in.
And not only that, but when you slip like that, you're hurting those rear tires. The drivers have talked a lot about trying to save rear tires on this racetrack because they go away. So every time you see the car slide, you're hurting those rear tires. Austin Cindric going to put the pressure on. Austin's so good in the braking zone. That seems to be his strength. He's going to try to take advantage of that and apply the pressure to Haley coming on the front straightaway.
Hey, Justin Haley, second here a year ago. And let's remember, going full-time Cup Series racing next year for the Collin organization. He would love to get what do they say? Fill that trophy case. Isn't that what Chris Rice says? Racing for trophies.
Yeah, and he's running right now in front of one of the best at road courses. His best this year, second at Mid-Ohio. So Haley getting better on the road courses.
Austin tried to send it on in there. He's got to jump on the binders. He tried to outbrake Haley into one. It didn't pay off. But here they come through turn 2, and right now into the right-hander 3. Both cars hugging the inside of the racetrack. Cindric, though, about a half car length behind, staying with him, and his drive off these corners is very impressive. He needs more drive off to get the lead, but he's getting there, Junior. He's shutting it down to a car length now, leading 6.
He's not able to close in the kink there of 5 and 6. He pulls over, gets a little clean air through the ducts. The brakes, those brakes working really good, closes in. Kind of gets a little bit wide for the setup to turn 8, using a little more curb there. Again, the 22 car using a little bit more curve, dives in right here. Little contact right there. That's what we're going to see all day long in these slow corners.
Haley knows he's there now. That contact sent a message from Cindric. Haley's back of the car. It's just not stuck in the racetrack. Cindric knows it. Now's go time. Now's the time to really apply the pressure. Now right there is where Cindric has an advantage as they try to lay the throttle down. Look at Cindric staying out really late and trying to straighten out this part of the racetrack. Haley doing what he needs to do, though, to protect that lead. Might be a battle getting into 1.
Yeah, trying.
Break. Don't let him get you into a pinch.
Trying to put the pressure
locks him up, just cross him up.
on Haley as they dive into number 1. Here comes Cindric. He looks for the lead. To the inside of Haley he goes. Cindric outbreaks him.
Side by side into 1. Cindric's going to slide it in on the inside. He'll grab the point before they leave 1. But Haley's now going to try to stay with him. That's exactly what you're going to have to do. You give Austin Cindric the lead on these road courses, and he'll wave bye-bye to you in a heartbeat. That's what he's trying to do now. They're in 4. You're looking from Justin Haley's front bumper. Here they come through the chicane, and Haley wants the lead back, but he's got a tall task in order to get that lead back.
A 22 car pulling away ever so slightly through the chicane down this straightaway. Look at the braking performance of the 22. That road course experience and knowledge, that's where it pays off. A half a car length here in the braking zone, a half a car length there in the braking zone, and you slowly drive away. Haley has the pace in these switchbacks. He has the pace in the other corners, but the braking zones, the 22 is beating him.
Also, Cindric won stage 1 here last year, trying to do the same thing. 6 laps to go in this stage.
We got a car spun around here, Jeff, out of turn 7. The 24 car took it in there a little bit too far. Will Rogers, a very established and talented road racer, just asking a little bit too much of that car getting down to the braking zone, locked it up, spun it around.
Will Rogers spins it around. He gets going the right direction. We stay green, and the end of stage 1 coming up quickly as there's just 6 laps to go, and Ryan Sieg has a left rear tire that's down.
And the problem is he's on the front stretch, so he's missed the entrance to pit road. You see sheet metal all over the racetrack. I believe this is going to have to bring out the yellow. That debris right there is in the racing surface.
Yeah, right in the groove.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. It's a big piece of aluminum right in that groove. They're going to have to throw the caution. Here it comes.
There it is. The caution has come out. So the second caution comes out now at Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Interesting. Right before the end of the stage.
And Steve, you mentioned that you can do it on 1 stop. Would you consider coming now that this caution has come out? I know when you road course race, you don't normally like to come to pit road under green or under yellow.
Yeah, let's take another look right here at seeing the 39. You see the flat tire just throwing debris out from underneath it. I mean, at this point, if you're the leader, I don't believe you want to make an extra pit stop. But you have to ask yourself, what's happening to A.J. Allmendinger back in 6th? We expected him to be higher. Maybe Myatt Snyder back in 9th. Maybe Chase Elliott in 13th. Does he, you know, he's a relief driver. He didn't get to practice that 1 car. Does he want to come in and get some adjustments made? So we may see some teams come to pit road, but I don't believe the leaders will.
Pace cars pick the leaders up over here in turn 7 and 8. We'll be heading toward you, Jeff, and these guys are going to have to make that decision really soon.
Well, I'm sure I'll be wrong, and they'll all come to pit road. But I would probably stay on the racetrack if I'm Cindric.
Cindric, Haley, Ty Gibbs, Riley Herbst, Justin Allgaier. They're the top 5.
I tell you what, Rick, it's hard to believe it's August in Indianapolis. I was down on pit road before the race. Such comfortable weather, a great week. Oh, now the whole carcass has come off the 39's tire. Just beautiful weather to watch racing. Fans galore down there. It's awesome.
Not what Ryan Sieg was hoping for the day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course.
Came in just below that cut line. Needed a great day to make up points. This is not what they needed. So now let's see. There'll be a right-hand turn if anybody comes. Leaders skip past pit road. We'll see if anybody dives in. Oh,
pits are closed.
Pit roads are closed, we're hearing. Well, they're definitely not going to pit then.
So with that, they'll have to go all the way around again. Ryan Sieg obviously will come onto pit road. He'll take whatever penalty they will assess to him so he can get to the attention of his crew. Again, the end of stage 1 at lap 20, and it's Austin Cindric out front. NASCAR on NBCSN is brought to you by Credit One Bank, the official credit card of NASCAR. Visit GoCreditOne.com. And by Ford, built Ford proud. Austin Cindric has decided he didn't want that water bottle any longer, and we'll go to Parker.
See most of the field coming down pit road here in that car behind the 11 of Justin Haley, just struggling with rear lateral grip to be able to beat Austin Cindric there as you saw him lose the lead. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires, Sunoco fuel, and an air pressure adjustment to hook up the rears, Dave.
So Austin Cindric will come in and pit as well. The call in code was Dungy. I remember a famous football coach from around here that might do a Football Night in America show for NBC by that name. So we'll see what they do there. I believe it's going to be 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for the leader. Meanwhile, Ty Gibbs said his car is just too loose, that 54 car on the bottom. They'll get some tires and fuel as well. Looks like they'll go left sides then right sides for Ty Gibbs.
A lot of guys on pit road, Steve.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought more would stay out. We saw Riley Hurd stay out probably for the stage points. Very narrow pit road. Regardless of the direction you're going, we'll have to see if everybody gets on and off safely. But shocked at the number of cars that came to pit road. But now they definitely have to stop again with 45 laps to go. They can't make it on fuel. That just tells me, though, how much the tires are you know, deteriorating. That's how much that's going away. And we have this yellow because the 39 had a flat tire. Well, the issues continue as you see this 39 come around. He spun out a couple times. This time right here, I think the left rear to me is already flat, right? We didn't see that the first time. But you see right here, it just comes apart as he continues. I thought this was the tire carcass, but the wheel and everything is actually in that. I have not seen that. And then after the wheel comes, there comes wheel spacers. I mean, it is on the brake caliper, dragging on the rotor, track bar mount. The 39 has some major issues.
Unfortunate, and you had mentioned we saw the sign that they were done for the day. Right.
Rick, I was just playing the automotive version of Racers They're Just Like Me because I bought those same wheel spacers on Amazon before. We're over here on the hill on the golf course having some fun. Take a look over here. All these people who weren't here last year are enjoying this doubleheader weekend. It's amazing because we're right here by turn 7. We saw the Indy cars earlier, incredible braking, and for us, it really starts just after the bridge, so it's a little bit slower here for this, but man, I tell you what, it's still a great party over here. A little different with the road course, but these fans are loving it, guys.
Yeah, party there. There's going to be a party once again on Peacock with Motor Mouths coming back Monday and Wednesday. Always a lot of fun. That's where fans get to voice their opinions on what's going on. They love to do that.
Yeah, I love being on the show. Fans get to call in, let us know what they thought about the race. We have a lot of guests. The fan actually get to ask the guests questions. We've had Kyle Busch on. We've had Ryan Blaney, Alex Bowman earlier in the year. So we'll have drivers join us, and the fans can call in and fire their questions. I love it because they can ask the drivers directly. I just stay out of it. They're like, yeah, ask Kyle what you think.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Kyle, answer the man's question.
Yeah, again, that's Monday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. on Peacock. So make sure to join us for that. Always great to be able to chat with the fans.
So interesting mix up of the field. We mentioned some cars did stay out. So you see the 22 of Cindric 4 rows back. The 31 of Sage Karam. This is a tough position, making your Xfinity Series debut, learning a new car. Now you will be on the front row for a restart. The 98 of Riley Herbst will start to his right. An important little sprint for Riley Herbst. He's looking for some points, trying to make it into the playoffs with Michael Annett on the sidelines.
It will be a quick sprint, just 2 to go. Austin Dillon in that 23 team, they had a crew member over the wall too soon, so they have a penalty from pit road. Let's see how Sage Karam does. Riley Herbst, Sage Karam making up row 1. Back under green, as I mentioned, 2 to go to end stage 1. And the fresher tires do anything in these 2 laps? We're about to find out. They stay door to door. Riley Herbst surging ahead now. He has the number 1 spot. Congestion through 1 as they all try to sort it out.
Slide through turn 1 and 2. A.J. Allmendinger making a bonsai run on that restart. He's trying to gain some ground. So is Justin Haley. Here they are through the right-hander, turn number 4. Still congestion trying to lead that corner. But Riley Herbst has been able to drive away with the lead with Sage Karam right behind him.
And the amount of spots that Justin Haley made up getting into turn 1, that was impressive. These guys are barreling down into turn 7 here. Herbst still with the lead. Haley pressuring his teammate, the 10. Going to cut him a little bit of a break right there. He's got a lot better tires on his car. The rest of the field works its way through turns 8, 9, and 10. Looks like even with just a few laps to go and the intensity up, they make it through pretty clean.
Pretty clean. Riley Herbst out front, staying out to get those points. We talked about the point battle that he's in. To get this stage win, that'll help him in his cause to get into the playoffs. You mentioned Justin Haley. He restarted 10th. When he exited turn 1, he was in 4th. He outbroke everybody getting into turn 1. It was so much fun. It's awesome to watch. He is going to go try to win this stage. He's got better tires. Going to go to try and run them down. He can do it. 1 to go, but I think he can get there.
Let's listen into the radio of the 11.
I don't know what it looked like down there. It was fun to watch on TV. I was looking at the big screen with the overhead view, and it was like throttle stuck.
Talking about that move Dale Jr. mentioned, he passed 4 and 5 heading into turn 1. Now he goes by Sage Karam. Doing a nice job, though, in that 31, making his Xfinity Series debut. Here's a replay for the bumper cam. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Worked on a 6-pack in turn 1. That is impressive. And that right there could be the reason he has a chance to win this stage, is he's able to run down Riley Herbst.
Okay, he's coming down this straightaway, trying to close the gap a little bit. It's about 6 car lengths in the braking zone. He gains maybe a couple back. Herbst makes a big mistake on the brakes there. That allows the 11 of Haley to get within 2 or 3 car lengths through turns 8 and 9 and 10. Jeff, coming to you. It's now a battle for the lead.
Yeah, we got a great battle. Watch the 11 car of Haley. You're going to try to really drive through this corner with tons of speed and then carry speed into turn 12. Right here, a great opportunity to make up space. Going to the inside. Can he make it work? Easily clears. Great job, great aggressive driving. He's going to get this stage win after pitting. I didn't think he'd have a shot, but that great restart put him in position.
Alex Jans, the crew chief for the 11, making a great call, bringing him to pit road. Now Haley taking advantage of the fresh tires. He's back out front, and he's going to win his 4th stage of the 2021 season. Haley wins stage 1.
And a tip of the hat to Sage Karam in 5th. Making his Xfinity Series debut, the 26-year-old out of Nazareth, Pennsylvania, knows Indy cars, doesn't know NASCAR. That's pretty chaotic for a guy not used to stock car racing. Did a nice job not making a mistake. Little NASCAR donut on the left side. I like that.
Yeah, it still worked out for Riley Herbst. He was looking for points. He got them. He'll get 9 points for finishing 2nd in stage 1. But it was Justin Haley who makes the pass and gets the win in stage 1. Few drivers coming onto pit road, one of those being the 98 of Riley Herbst. He's coming in front of you, Parker.
Right, and also at the top of your screen, Sage Karam, who was getting coached by the team. This is his first ever pit stop in NASCAR, how to get in the box, how to drive out of the box, of course. In the middle of your screen there is Jeff Burton, who got a great stage finish there, and some stage points. That's before Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, and add a little bit of rear grip in that 10 car. And then Riley Herbst, we saw him trying to hold on for that stage win, getting passed in the final couple corners by Justin Haley, just lacking a bit of turn in that 98 car, as you see Ford Goodyear tires put on for him.
I love that pit call by the 98, though, staying out and getting those stage points. You know, when we look at the playoffs, you have to gobble up points when you can. Big call by the 98.
Only 5 more races remain before the playoffs begin. Herbst trying to lock himself in. roars to the checkered flag.
It's all over. AJ has done it. The checkered flag for Rick Mears. He's won the Indianapolis 500.
Winner of the inaugural Brickyard 400. Dale Earnhardt has won the second Brickyard 400.
A native Hoosier, his dream comes true. A fourth win in the Brickyard 400 to Jimmy Johnson.
Kevin Harvick is going to see the checkered flag. He wins again at the Brickyard.
Welcome to the four-time club, Elio Castroneves.
So many great names, and this place has made many of those great names. And that yard of bricks, it's the same. They're just going a different direction when they come tomorrow. And a very busy day on CNBC, qualifying for the Cup Series. A new tradition starting. The Cup Series will be running the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Road Course. Countdown to green. That is on NBC. Make sure to join us at 12:30. And then at 1 o'clock, Cup Series racing. Again, that new tradition beginning right here at the Yard of Bricks. And of course, NASCAR America post-race coverage on NBCSN after the race. So much excitement has taken place already this weekend. Earlier today, it was the NTT IndyCar Series. And what a run once again for Will Power. I mean, this guy is amazing at the road course here.
Yeah, Lee Diffin was on the call, and he mentioned it. It had been a long time coming, about a year since the last time we saw Will Power go to victory lane, and he's so good on this course.
As far as laps led, second place as far as in the IndyCar Series, laps led are like 5 times less than what Will Power has been able to do here, leading laps in the IndyCar. It's his 5th win here on the road course. And Steve, we talk about such a special weekend when you compare the fact that IndyCar, Xfinity, Cup, all running same weekend, same road course.
Completely two different disciplines. You see the difference in overall budget to run a season top speed about 20 miles an hour because they're about half the weight, twice the downforce. You know, you can attack those cars. They now have that aero screen versus a closed cockpit for the Xfinity Series. I've really enjoyed seeing the two series. We have seen them both on the same track, but never on the same weekend. And that's really helped me. I rode around during the IndyCar race to some different areas and watched the cars make laps, and it was just mind-blowing just how much grip those cars could create with the downforce.
Yeah, so much excitement, so much fun to see that. The drivers crossing over and watching each other's discipline. You can go inside the headset with access to NASCAR Scanner for only $2.99 per month. You can listen in on pit strategy, spotter communication, crew chief calls. Just visit NASCAR.com/scanner. You can start your subscription today. Austin Cindric in that 22, Justin Haley in the 11. As we come back to the green flag, starting stage 2. A couple guys checking the inside line, making it 3 wide as they go into turn 1. And one of those is going to be Noah Gragson for the lead. He makes it 3 wide. Austin Cindric on the outside. He's going to have the lead. And Cindric will hold off that 9 of Gragson.
Gragson will slide through. He'll grab that second spot. Here's Jeremy Clements up in the mix in the 51 as Haley bailed out. He was in the middle of that 3 wide coming through turn 1. It'll cost him some spots, and it's going to cost him another. Whoa, look out. One car spinning further back and off the course as everybody will slide by everybody. Trying to check up. Another car in trouble. That's Chris Wright. He'll go off course as well, as a couple of drivers come to grief here through turn number 5, working their way onto the back straightaway.
There's some damage to the one car. Chase Elliott's around. He spins 360, gets it right and gets it going. But coming to you, Jeff Burton, it looks like there's some damage to the 18 car. Little tire smoke off the nose.
Yeah, we saw Ty Gibbs right there. That was the guy that spun. The initial spinner was Ty Gibbs. This battle wages down here in this corner. Haley trying to get those spots back. Haley, although he gave some spots up, made the right decision. When Noah Gragson poked underneath him getting into turn 1, Haley could have just fought, but they all would have wrecked. Haley just didn't want to make that decision, but made the right one, and he continues on to take the battle later in the race.
I was thinking the same thing, and it just confirmed it when we saw the 54 backwards, the 1 backwards. Now we see some smoke. I believe that's Jeremy Clements in the 51, smoke as well. Out of the 18 of Daniel Hemrick, damage on the left front.
Daniel Hemrick in the 18 coming into turn number 1. He did have smoke on that left front. Corners got close there the last time through turn 5. Everybody's cooled their jets right now, but Hemrick's got to be concerned about that tire rub. Perhaps maybe the fender caved in. And he's also got A.J. Allmendinger breathing down his neck. Not a lot going on right now for Daniel Hemrick through 5 and 6.
Down this back straightaway, Daniel Hemrick tries to assess the situation. There's a car in front of him that has a little bit of tire smoke as well. It's like the 51 car, I believe. All these guys having a lot of contact here on these restarts, and we're going to see some tire rubs. Daniel's hoping that this will sort itself out. Won't bring it to pit road or cut the tire down. He doesn't want to get up that track with it.
Yeah, we just saw Ty Gibbs coming down pit road. Dave, you got some on Ty?
I'm going to watch what they do down there as we keep our eye on the action as well. Daniel Hemrick thinking that he may come to pit road. His crew is ready, but he did not. As for Ty Gibbs, they definitely want to get that left side roof flap back down on the 54 car. And Ty felt like there might have been a tire down. Definitely damaged the tires, so they're going to change all 4 Goodyears on the 54 car and fill it full of Sunoco fuel. We'll see if they can strategize their way back. They will not lose a lap here, guys.
See service complete. I believe he is going to lose the lap because here comes the leaders right here down into turn 1. Yeah, the 54 will lose a lap to the leaders. That is a costly situation. Hopefully there'll be some more green flag pit stops that will allow Ty to cycle back out as we see A.J. Allmendinger continue to move up through the field, as well as the 18 of Daniel Hemrick.
It's a heck of a battle right now, Stevie. As you look at Sam Mayer also starting to make some noise there. You got Myatt Snyder in the 2. They're trying to regain some lost ground as well. Daniel Hemrick, that smoke seemingly to have gone away. Perhaps maybe that left front fender got pushed back out off that tire. Not seeing as much smoke as we saw a couple laps ago.
Yeah, that's kind of something that's good about these composite bodies. That you will get those tire rubs, and sometimes they do work themselves out.
I think it's going to go down.
Yeah, Daniel's losing a lot of time here, a lot of positions. Radios in, and he believes that the tire itself may be going down. They're calling to pit road, Burton.
Yeah, every Gibbs car has had trouble today of some sort. Daniel Hemrick got a decision to make. Right now he's got a car on the inside of him, so he won't be able to get to pit road. There you go, he's got to just stop, fall in behind Will Rogers, and then drive to pit road. Now carry as much speed as you can through here. That becomes more difficult if you have a tire going down, Steve.
Yeah, be very careful right here. That wall is in play. No pit road speed until all the way around the yellow line. And unfortunately, well, with 36 to go, we expect this to be maybe just inside the fuel window, knowing you're going to get some yellows as we see the 54 of Ty Gibbs passing the 9, trying to find his way back into the lead lap, trying to unlap himself the old-fashioned way if he can run down Austin Cindric, Dave.
And Steve, one of the things that impressed me about Daniel Hemrick on that restart was the way that he used the braking area into turn number 1. He had complained early on that he couldn't stop the 18 car, but that move that he was making was fantastic. The problem, he hit the 54 car, and he believes that may have cut down that left front tire. He'll bring this Toyota in, and they'll send him back out.
Leaders down into turn 7. Looks like Justin Haley, he's lost a couple of spots. Guys are a little bit more aggressive, taking advantage of him on the restarts, but he's got a little more pace in his 9 car. Noah Gragson, he's trying to recover that spot, get himself back into second position.
Yeah, remember early in the race, Haley had trouble with a longer run, so maybe trying to save a little tire. Let's go back and see what happened. You see Ty Gibbs, you see the 18 on the outside of him. They just make contact, sends Ty Gibbs out into the grass. That's where he got his damage, and then behind him, look at that, another car hitting one of those huge curbs. Those are, we need to come up with a new name with those things. They're car killers. I mean, they absolutely destroy the car.
I think it's going to be called a ramp from now on, because we have seen cars airborne. That was Chris Wright in the 26 that just flew through the air.
And Chase Elliott, yeah, was that Sam Mayer?
Yeah, it looked like Sam Mayer got into the left rear quarter panel, getting down into turn 7. Teammates going for the same piece of real estate right there.
You said teammates very reluctantly.
Got my broadcaster hat on there, Jim. Rest of the field here, the are coming through turns 5 and 6. An interesting corner, that little kink there. Guys, get through there wide open. If you have to lift, you're going to have trouble fending off a pass in this particular area of the track. There's A.J. Allmendinger working his way back up to the field, getting around Justin Allgaier. They go through the switchbacks of 8, 9, and 10. A.J. seems to have improved the balance of his car somewhat.
I was worried about A.J. Allmendinger. We saw him lose track position early when he missed the track, but then after that, he wasn't able to make up any ground, but now seems to have a little bit better car. Trying to run his teammate, Justin Haley, down. He and Haley work really well together. Right now, that's a position to go get.
You're going to see A.J. Allmendinger again tomorrow. He's double-duty driver as well. Haley in front of him will be in the Cup race, so a couple guys that'll be in the Cup race. On the bottom left, you see it, that final pit window. We are now in a spot where if anybody pits under green because they have to come for any sort of situation or even a strategy call, they can then make it all the way to the end on fuel, Parker.
Right, and Jeff, you noticed that A.J. Allmendinger is a lot better here on this run. In those first few runs, he was really lacking drive off, meaning he just couldn't put the throttle down. The rear tires had to spin out of each and every corner. They made some adjustments, and the car started to definitely come to him in that 16s. We start to see him carve through the field here and shows him that speed that we saw in qualifying. He told me before this race he was so happy with that car in practice. He did 6 laps. Every lap was in almost hundreds of each other. He said this thing's going to be money in the race, but it didn't start off that way. They had to do some work, as we see the 61 is stopped on track.
They get to you and they throw the,
So that's a local yellow, Austin Hill in the 61. Now you're seeing the yellow come out. We saw the blue flag earlier, but now it's a full course yellow because Austin Hill in that 61 not rolling. The 27-year-old out of Winston, Georgia, making just his 3rd start in the Xfinity Series here in 2021.
We had just mentioned that the pit window was available to pit.
If the caution comes out here, guys, with the field just past turn 7, well, that happens to be where the pace car picks the field up. So these guys are going to pace around and complete a lap without the pace car. The pace car is sitting right here underneath me, waiting on Cindric to come back around.
It's a great break for a couple drivers. Unfortunately for Ty Gibbs, I believe he was still a lap down. I'm looking, so he'll get the free pass. But Daniel Hemrick was able to stay on the lead lap, so he might be able to stay out here. He has brand new tires on and save gas because he's outside his pit window, but this yellow might save him a little bit of fuel.
Austin Cindric out front looking to get back to victory lane. Maybe make it a sweep, Saturday sweep for Penske. love that sound. The NFL season kicks off Thursday, September 9th on NBC and Peacock with the Cowboys facing defending Super Bowl champion Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Then on Sunday Night Football, the Bears are going to face the Rams from SoFi Stadium. That's in Los Angeles. That is where this year's Super Bowl will be held. That is going to be on NBC. Looking forward to that. A few takers on to pit road, Riley Herbst being one. Parker.
Did you see Riley Herbst come down pit road? A lot of damage, especially that right rear area. The whole bumper covers tore off. That all happened on the restart there. Got banged around a little bit, a couple cars. Riley was asking the team continually through that whole stage what was the situation with the car. They told him just to keep going on as long as it stayed together. You see them trying to put some bear bond around on the left front and on that right rear, just trying to lock those body panels in place.
I'm a little surprised. Thought we might have some more takers. People try to stretch their fuel mileage, but apparently those Goodyear tires are valuable, Rick. People don't want to be out there on old tires late in the race.
And look at this. Oh my goodness. That's almost like ski jumping. That's Winter Olympics preview right there. Wow. A new tradition begins tomorrow for the NASCAR Cup Series from Indianapolis Motor Speedway. They take on the road course. If it's anything like what we have seen already today with IndyCar and the Xfinity Series, we're probably going to see some cars airborne because it really started in the NTT IndyCar Series with Scott McLaughlin. Look at that.
I don't know what to say. Well, he landed pretty square. So then Chris Wright said, well, I'm going to abort, go driver's right. That is amazing.
Oh, my goodness.
Watch this on the left side, top of your screen. Check this out.
Wow.
I mean, that's some Hollywood stuff right there.
Now, the question is who did it better? And who will join them tomorrow? The Cup race. Who might go through there?
Junior, I don't think anybody wants to challenge that.
That's what you call straightening the curves.
The turn 11 judge believes the IndyCar did it better. He landed more squarely, and I think the technical side should be appreciated.
Man. So you'd score that, would that be a high 9?
Solid 8.
Okay, 8. Wow. So we have seen airborne cars today, not only at that turn there, but we also saw them when they were exiting that turn on the first lap. A little bit of congestion as they came out of that lap and hit the turtle or curb that was just on the concrete on the outside of this track.
Can we call them jumps now? I mean, I
think
just
they're now
jumps.
jumps.
More accurate.
Yeah, right there, that orange jump.
Yeah. Ramps.
Airborne. We have already seen some great action. Let's check in with the guys once again. We'll start with you, Bagman, over there in turns 1 through 5.
I'm impressed. I never knew that cars could get so much air here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway on the road course. It's been quite impressive. It's been impressive to watch everybody mind their P's and Q's getting into turn 1 under heavy braking. We haven't seen a lot of pushing and shoving going into that corner, but we have seen drivers take advantage of things through turns 2 through 6 and navigating all that unpleasantness that we've seen for some drivers. Dale, what about you in turn 7?
Yeah, it's been pretty awesome over here. Watching the guys come into this braking zone of turn 7 is really probably the most impressive thing. These guys are really challenging the cars, challenging their braking performance. Seeing some guys miss this corner, end up in the grass. But if they go through there and they get through that part and they go into 8, 9, and 10, watching them try to set each other up, try to arc a higher line into the corner to try to give themselves a passing opportunity or crossover move on exit is a lot of fun. We're going to see more of that as this race goes on.
Yeah, Junior, it's been aggressive, but I think it's getting ready to get more aggressive. I just believe that you know, you're going to get into the second stage is coming, into the race is getting closer. You're going to see drivers trying to step up and try to make more moves. And we know what happens when that goes on, so expect the aggression level to even get higher.
We love the fact that Junior hasn't missed a step. He's still got his quickness.
I'm telling you, great reaction time. Great reaction time right here.
Oh!
You're coming on air.
Mic button. Yeah, I did that last week. You didn't say a thing.
Getting on air requires much more skill than people realize.
I'm telling you.
Mashing buttons.
Beautiful thing. And you see, it will be 8 laps to go until the end of stage 2. Austin Cindric, Noah Gragson will be fighting it out now as they come back to the start-finish line. Across the yard of bricks, Austin Cindric in the 22 on the inside. Gragson on the outside trying to outbrake him as he gets into turn number 1. Here comes Justin Haley as well, and A.J. Allmendinger in the mix.
A.J. Allmendinger now going to challenge Austin Cindric for second as Noah Gragson in the 9 will get away with the lead. Everybody now in the right-hander, turn number 3. Gregson's starting to tiptoe away a bit, but A.J. Allmendinger giving Austin Cindric the business to the right-hander, turn 4. It's Dinger and Cindric side by side for second. Not any long. Here comes A.J. Allmendinger.
Yeah, the 9 of Gragson did not get through turn 4 good at all. And AJ's got an opportunity here in the braking zone of turn 7. He's going to push it down here, be right up alongside the 9 car. Oh, one contact amongst all the top 3 there. AJ's going to be clear into the lead. Gragson now trying to fend off the 11 car of Haley, who's moved into 3rd. Cindric back to 4th.
Yeah, Cindric all the way back to 4th. A huge surprise. I think it surprised him. Noah Gragson was able to outbrake him into turn 1. And now, look at Noah. Look at the battle right there. Sam Mayer. He started mid-pack. He has worked himself up, now battling with one of the best road racers for a top 5 position.
He got a little sideways, and that allowed Austin Cindric to clear him for now. Here comes Mike Snyder back into the picture, as well as Justin Allgaier. But Sam Mayer starting to put pressure on Austin Cindric. Those two nose to tail now as they go down the front stretch, side by side. Allgaier on the inside. And it's Myatt Snyder on the outside. Hard braking as they get into turn number 1.
Here's Allgaier down to the inside of Myatt Snyder. Look out further back. Austin Dillon is around. He'll spin the car. Coming in a little too hot. Everybody's got to get by, and they will. Now Austin rights the car, and that was the case of coming in way too hot and trying to get in that corner. And obviously Austin asked a bit much out of that race car all the way to the back of the pack for Austin Dillon.
Yeah, we're going to look at it right here. Getting down in the corner, Austin. Just gets a little bit. I'd have got a little bit of help there. I couldn't really tell. Maybe just getting the corner a little bit too hard. Still down here next to me now through turn 7, turn 8, 9, and 10. Everybody getting through pretty well, but Haley is hanging on to his teammate, A.J. Allmendinger.
This top 4 is a top 4 from the race last year. So guys that were successful last year found themselves back to the front. And that Allmendinger, they just worked on that car, made it better. Early, he just did not look like he had the speed. Now leading this race. And Cindric, I just don't think he's happy with his car back there in that 22 car. Haley, a little quicker than Allmendinger to that section of the racetrack.
Look at Collin Racing on the left side on the road courses. They've won 3 of the last 10. including down at Mid-Ohio. And I think Allmendinger deserves a lot of that credit. While I think Haley is a great road course driver, having someone like Allmendinger driving your equipment, Rick, as a crew chief, you know you can make changes, great feedback, and that's what you're seeing. Leading, but not leading by much, his teammate Bagley right on his rear bumper.
Yeah, that's a good battle for the lead right now. A.J. Allmendinger brought us to green, led us to the green flag, didn't stay there long, had a horrible first lap. They had to regroup and reassess. They've done that, and now they've found their way back to the front. Two Colleague Racing Chevrolets, 1 and 2, starting to pull away now by almost a second and a half over Noah Gregson, who rides in third.
You see AJ get really aggressive through the kink there in 5 and 6 and stretch out his lead. That right there to me is really impressive to be able to get through there. Most of these guys are going to go wide open, but if you don't hit that just right and have to lift, it's such a long straightaway to turn 7 that you can give up a lot of time. Haley gains all of it back though through the switchbacks of 8, 9, and 10. His car is turning better, changing better direction.
Let's go back and look at that Austin Dillon incident on the front straightaway into turn 1. Just carrying too much speed, a little bit too high, and then behind him also, you know, one guy goes in there too deep, somebody else just follows him in there.
Jeremy Clement followed him in the 51. He was able to keep it going in the right direction. We'll go NASCAR nonstop. Allmendinger out front. Are you ready to win $25,000? The free-to-play Jackpot Races app, it's here to make that happen. With expert analysis, live in-race tracking of your picks, your racing experience could hit the jackpot. Go to your Apple Store or Google Play and download the Jackpot Races app today, as we see Austin Cindric has made his way onto pit road. So now coming from running up front to on pit road, making that final stop. Parker.
And you see Austin Cindric on pit road. Also the 8 of Sam Mayer, who started this race at the back, drove all the way through the field into the top 15 and having a great run just outside the top 5 here. Just struggling a little bit with rear grip on the cars. I'm hearing a consistent theme throughout the field of rear grip, Dave.
So Parker, it was interesting watching Austin Cindric lose the lead on that last restart after saying under caution how good the car was. In fact, the best it had been all day. So they'll come before stage end here, get their 4 Goodyear tires and their full fuel fill from Sunoco and send him on his way. Perhaps an air pressure adjustment to tweak on that car just a little bit, because I don't think he really liked it the way he did under caution.
Very slow pit stop on 8. A lot of trouble on the left side. You see the 22 of Cindric leaving. I mean, assuming this next time by, I'm not sure about Allmendinger with the lead, but I think we have another wave of pit stops. Let's take a look at what Allmendinger does. You know, what's a stage win worth? Losing the opportunity to win the race. I think if you're going to try to win the race, you have to pit before the end of the stage, or you'll cycle behind all these guys. So we'll watch the 2 collar cars this time by. Let's see what they decide to do. Allmendinger stays on the track. Haley stays on the track. A bit surprising there. The 7 of Allgaier. Oh, and the caution comes out.
And the problem there, Allgaier is not going to be able to do his service. He didn't get to the commitment line. It didn't look like he got there in time. That'll be a question of Will Rogers climbing out of the 24. That's the reason for the caution.
Rick, this caution just changed the entire race. The entire race just got flipped upside down because of this caution. We see right here the 24 fire coming out of the right front wheel well.
He had just exited pit road. You see him climbing back in to grab something from inside the car. And AMR safety crew immediately to him.
Man, this is just a huge moment in this race as far as
head scratcher for you.
Oh, it's not a head scratcher. We see Justin Allgaier in the 7 servicing his car. You mentioned we'll have to see where he was for the commitment line. Remember, it's not the speed line.
Right.
It's the commitment line. If he has passed over the commitment line, the white line, then he is committed to pit road and he's able to service his car. We'll have to go back and look at this, and guess what? We won't have to, because NASCAR is going to go back and look at it, and they're going to let us know. If so, great break for the 7 of Allgaier, but the cars that hadn't stopped for service yet, they're going to lose some track position here.
And his spotter, obviously, and probably crew chief were watching to see, and they would tell him, hey, you need to either stop or you can keep going.
And it's almost like calling a player out or safe at first base. It's bang, bang, right? Pit, caution. You know, you can't, 2 guys on the radio, it turns into chaos. So
Burton, you commit the pit or not? Not the speed line.
There you go. My man Jason Burdett going through the rules. He goes, it's not the speed line. It's the commitment line. It's the white commitment line. That says, so it's up there at the top of the screen. That is the line you cross right here. I'm going to draw. This right here is the commitment line, not the speed line, which is farther down in this direction, right? If you get over that line while the track is still green, then you are committed to pit road. This is the speed line, the yellow line. The reason the commitment line matters is because where's he going to go? Like once you're on the access road. So we'll see what NASCAR says, but
yeah, Steve, it happened right in front of me, and
give us
I saw him pitting. I saw him pitting because, you know, that was their plan all along, was the pit, and then caution, right? Then I saw the caution light come on. It's really going to be close, so whether he made it or not. But it's so close. As they're saying now, he was on too early. But it would have been a really difficult call for the spotter to call him back. Now, they could have had him not pit, but I still don't know how you would have known it without a replay. It was just a really close call whether he made it or not.
Well, that's unfortunate for Justin Allgaier. A difficult situation for Allgaier being called to pit road, and then the caution happening almost simultaneously as he was coming to that commitment line.
All right, so we got a pretty good look at this right here. This is going to be crazy. Now, okay, hold on real quick. Before you do anything, you're going to see over here, it's hard to see, there's a pit light. He has yet to get to the thing. Let's roll it forward just 2 or 3 frames, and you're going to see this light illuminate on the left side. So as he rolls forward, and this is very, very close, right? So as it rolls forward, a little more, right there. Look, right there. He is short by, I don't know, a couple feet. And that light on the left-hand side is signifying pit road's close. To Jeff Burton's point, I don't like
They said we did not make the light.
Why you don't get penalized, gamble. stop because he was 2 feet away. 2 feet away from a great pit call. You have to take the gamble. I love where Jason Burdett's mind was. He knew the rule. Allgaier knew the rule. Everybody knew the rule. Unfortunately, you're right. Jason's saying it's the commitment line back there. It's not the speed line, but it was just a couple feet. Great work down in replay to find that camera shot that shows both the light and the commitment line.
Yeah, Steve, I'm essentially in the same view as the spotters have. And there's just
that's not right.
There's just no way a spotter could have said you didn't make it. There's no way. We had to do it in super slow-mo with guys in replay. So, you know, sometimes you're just unlucky, and that was a matter of milliseconds.
Until they throw me out of here.
Well, if we tell Mr. Burdett there to look at the camera, we can put it back up for him. But we have the video evidence. It's unfortunate. I see his argument. I understand what he's saying because he knows how important this call is. This is the difference between having great track position or having awful track position. But look, NASCAR has all the same camera angles. They even have more camera angles that they officiate with.
And Steve, the other thing, the driver is already starting to look left. So that light is almost directly in front of the car when he comes on there. So he would already be looking to left. He wouldn't be able to see it.
Listen, it's like trying to go through a red light at 65 miles an hour and tell me, was it red or yellow? And you don't know. Once it's above your head, I mean, it happens so quick. You know, it's just a simple situation. So on the left, right here is the light. You know, so it's the driver's coming through here. He's not at pit road speed yet. He's trying to stay out of the grass. He's got a lot going on. It's like I said, it's just two things. Bang, bang, happens right away. I love the, how do I say this? I love the sales pitch from the spot. I'd be the same way, like, man, I think we were there.
Like, hey, fight it, fight it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're going to be able to win this one.
So now on the other side, though, as we ride around for the final lap of the stage with the two call-it cars, their decision to stay on the racetrack, while it will score them some points, they're not going to restart inside the top 10 or 12. So they still have a chance to win this race. 23 laps to go. A lot can happen. We saw Justin Haley make a great move into turn one before. Chris Rice right there, team president, on the screen. You know, this is going to make their chances of winning more difficult. Doesn't remove them from the win, but, man, more difficult. So remember, Cindric, he's already serviced his car. He's going to restart way up front.
Well, I think one thing that those teams can look at is what happened to Ty Gibbs. Ty Gibbs spun. He's already back up inside the top 4. You can do it. getting ready for the final stage of the Pennzoil 150 at the Brickyard for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, as final pit stops taking place here, and they're coming right in front of you, Parker.
Right, they both collared cars stayed out to get those stage points. You see the 11 there, lacking some left rear drive for Justin Haley. Going to be 4 Goodyear tires. The middle of your screen, AJ Allmendinger stayed out to win that stage. He's just been too free when the car rolls over, and then he was asking the team, where is Justin faster than me? As you see a pretty good stop, he's going to beat his teammate out. Dave?
Bottom of the screen, it is Noah Gragson pitting from 3rd place. He said, I need some help in the right-handers. There's a number of those here in Indianapolis. They'll get a track bar adjustment for that. There should be a wrench going into the rear window to make that adjustment, and 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel, guys.
That is a game of chicken at pit road speed right there between the 2 collared cars. And it looks like Allmendinger is creeping ahead.
We'll see. Will he get called for it? Did he go too fast? Who was the closest on the tack?
Oh, man.
Allmendinger wins the race off the pit road with Haley, but they were side by side for almost the length of pit road. Daniel Hemrick, he came out first, didn't change tires, just filled it with fuel.
It was sketchy, wasn't it? I was nervous. Like, he's faster than him.
Wow. Okay, well, that's interesting. We'll wait to see if NASCAR says anything about that. And while we're waiting for that, let's find out where Rutledge Wood is.
Rick, I'm over here in the garage on top of one of the Penske haulers. I heard there were some Cup drivers over here when I was across the way there with the fan, so I made my way over. I got a great view of Junior and a great view of Turn 7. The crazy thing is, my buddy Andy Lally that we talked about at the beginning of the race made up to P5 before that stop sign. That's a huge accomplishment for that whole team, BJ McLeod Motorsports. You know, when you look at what started that team and BJ's love of racing, getting out here, to give a guy like Andy Lally, an IMSA driver, a champion, a shot out here, to come out here and shake it up, it's pretty impressive. Spencer Pumpelly was in 18th before that pit stop as well. So, man, the ATL guys are representing today. Fun race. I love how different it is here, and you get a really good view. I'm jealous, Junior. You got a nice setup over there, buddy.
Hey, I want to know when you're going to go MMA fighting with Andy Lally there, Rut. I mean, you get down there in the ATL with him. That'd be some great video.
Oh, Steve, you know what? Anytime you're ready to go, I'll do it.
Wow.
But okay. I'll meet you right there in the middle.
No. Andy said he loves to fight, so that's why we were throwing you. Actually, we were asking if you would be interested in
guys,
stepping into the
just
ring.
Like racing, MMA, it's a team sport. So if Steve goes, I'll go.
Understand. That is one of Andy Lally's ways to, kind of keep his mind focused. He does MMA.
Yeah. And we went back. We heard NASCAR say everybody was good on pit road speed. So just Allmendinger a little more efficient with his pit road lights.
Take a look at the points earned today. Haley, 19 points with his 2 finishes in the first 2 stages. And how about Riley Herbst? 11 points already in this one. And remember, Michael Annett didn't start this race, so no points for Michael Annett.
And it's paying off. Herbst currently just inside the playoffs, showed up outside the playoffs. 1 point between the 98 and the 1 as they run currently. And we hate it for Michael Annett. Listen, I would much rather see Herbst and Annett battle it out both on the racetrack. Michael had some lingering effects from that leg injury that required surgery. He toughed it out a week ago at Watkins Glen. Tried practice here, was unable to complete the weekend and drive the race, so we hope for a speedy recovery for Michael, but Herb still has to do his part, and he's doing it so far.
Yeah, and there's still 5 races to go before the end of the regular season.
All right, remember this yellow, this is the end of the stage. Let's go back. This good RX car, Will Rogers unfortunately brought it out. Well, this is a great look. This is looking back at the right rear tire. It's during the pit stop, tire on, tire off, and you're going to see, you almost see a little glow, and you wondered if it's like sun or what that is, and then you hear the car stall, and you see the fire and the smoke, and then eventually he had to pull over and get out of the car. So he was pitted from the 8th position, so was having a good run until this mechanical failure finally eliminated him from the race.
You saw the smoke inside the cockpit. He jumped out quickly. How about we look at our Toyota driver update and the recovery that the 54 and Ty Gibbs have made in this race. Remember, they got spun earlier, and so now up front and coming up on just 19 laps to go. Take a listen to the radio for the 54 team.
You're just going to use clean air to your advantage and hold off whoever you can. But what I don't want you to do is feel like you have to overwork when you're at a 9-lap tire deficit, get yourself wrecked or anything like that.
great coaching by Chris Gale, the crew chief. He says, listen, clean air, being the leader, that's your friend. But look, we know you're 9 laps. We spun out. We had to do something different. We were one of the first cars on pit road, and you can't be a human. You can't make it up. I mean, you have used tires. You can only drive the car to its limit. So we'll see if he can remain patient. I mean, it's going to be tough. The 22 Cindric's going to line up right next to him. And important to point out, Allmendinger, Haley, outside the top 10. So still in this race with 20 to go, but watch turn 1. We'll see if Haley can have another one of those big dives.
Fuel not an issue for Gibbs. I mean, it's 32 laps from when he came to pit road. You had mentioned the window was over that, and we've had caution laps.
Yeah, assuming they got it full and all that was fine, he should be fine. So we see the front row. If we look back a little bit more, there you go. There's the 2 Collet cars with those bright yellow roof numbers, Haley and Allmendinger side by side. They're important to watch because I think they're going to want to make it up as quickly as possible because Cindric is really their goal, and they know he's going to get out there and stretch his legs the best he can.
Where they're lined up, the 16th, going to be kind of boxed in to be able to dive to that inside line, but the 11, we've seen it before on this restart. He'll be lined up on that inside going into turn 1. Opportunity for him to take advantage of some of these guys.
And how about Chase Elliott? We haven't talked to him. He's right there. And that 1 car, Mike Lynette, we just talked about it, filling in for Mike Lynette. Chase Elliott in the 1.
Myatt Snyder, also a great run up here in the 2nd row for the restart. Sam Mayer just behind him, and that number 8, the white car. As we get ready for the restart and the starts of stage 3. Big jump by the 54 of Ty Gibbs. He has the advantage. Austin Cindric going to get a little help from Myatt Snyder as they go down into turn 1. Here comes Harrison Burton as well in that next imaging number 20 as they go into 1.
Daniel Hemrick is the first one jumping out of line. He threw the block on Haley. Haley's got to follow him through. 54 of Ty Gibbs away with the lead. You got Cindric away with 2nd, and they are stacked up now from 3rd on back. Here they come to the right-hander. This is turns 3 and 4. Right now, as they work through 5 and 6, it's all Ty Gibbs and Austin Cindric. The front 2 as everybody snakes their way to the back straightaway.
These guys are all trying to get themselves sorted out as they work side by side through turns 5 and 6 in front of the field down into turn 7. Gibbs leads by a couple car lengths over the 22. Cindric side by side back there for 4th. The 8 Carlin Mayer and the 20 of Burton, who's been struggling all day with that front end. A little bit damaged from that earlier incident.
Harrison Burton has had a lot of damage trying to claw out a finish, but the battle up front kind of stretched out a little bit. Once again, this heavy braking zone. Everybody's trying to block each other from trying to make it advance. Allmendinger trying to make a move underneath Austin Dillon right there on the outside of him now. See if he can stay alongside him. Now they're both going to be pretty slow coming to this front straightaway. Austin knows that, so he just lifts, kind of gives the spot up to keep somebody from advancing on him getting into turn 1.
AJ's looking for another spot, isn't he, Rick? Sorry, I didn't mean to step on you, but we thought he'd be on the defense. He's still on the offense while at the front, Cindric's out of line.
We'll see how aggressive he is as he dives into turn 1. Cindric trying to take the lead away from Ty Gibbs.
He's there. He'll dive it in, but here's Gibbs. He's got lane preference coming into turn number 2. Side by side they race. They lean on each other. Cindric, Gibbs, and now Myatt Snyder is in the mix. Front 3, this is the battle for the lead you're looking at in turn 4. Cindric gets away. Now Ty Gibbs is just trying to hang on to that number 2 spot. Myatt Snyder on the curves, and they're banging corner panels. Sam Mayer's around out of 6. He'll spin to the inside, hard into the tire barrier.
That's
a
not
lot
being
of damage
hard.
on the right front of the Sam Mayer car, who got crossed up coming out of turn number 6.
And that's definitely going to possibly bring out a yellow. I don't know if Sam will be able to get that car out of the grass there, but a little contact between him and Chase Elliott going through turn 5 and 6. You have to remember earlier in the race, in turn 7, there was contact between them 2 drivers that sent Chase Elliott around. Those guys trying to race side by side through that kink is very difficult to do. You saw ahead of them, Myatt Snyder allowed the 54 to have that position, would not go through there side by side with him. Sam's going to pull off here, right beyond turn 7. I'm looking right at the car. It's going to bring out a yellow. Look at the replay. So right in front of him, Myatt Snyder's gave up this same situation with the 54 car, but these 2 drivers, both of them wanting this position, decided to race through there side by side. A little bit of contact. I think Sam sees that curb that those drivers jumped earlier in the race, made an avoidance, a quick movement in the steering wheel to miss that and spun the car out into the tire barrier trying to avoid launching over that curb.
Yeah, Junior, he really had little choice right there. Chase Elliott underneath him used up a lot of racetrack. Chase can't see that curve. The guys on the inside, they don't know where it is. It's not a reference. So Sam got put out there and really didn't have many options, you know, other than try to go around it, and a good day is over.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's the...
We're still green, though.
We are still green. So Sam's been able to move the car beyond some tire barriers over here, so he's out of the way. That's why we're able to go to green. Back to the battle toward the front. Third position, A.J. Allmendinger is taking that over from the one car, Chase Elliott. Chase now just in front of Ty Gibbs.
See this battle coming toward me. All kind of spread out a little bit. We know Ty Gibbs has had a tire deficit, so you heard his crew chief say, hey, don't do anything silly. They're going to be faster than you. And that's what he's done. He's done a nice job of managing this situation and keeping himself in position following Chase Elliott, Dave.
And just keep in mind how this all came together. Michael Annett practiced this one car yesterday in the only practice session. He was given the night to see how he felt. Remember, he had surgery just a few weeks ago, had some time to recover and race last week. But in the morning, he told his team, I simply cannot go. Mike Bumgarner, the crew chief, told me, we learned that about 8 a.m. this morning. I said, when did Chase get the call? He said, I think we woke him up when we called right after that. The good thing for Chase Elliott is that he has driven junior motorsports cars in the past, and they were able to easily fit him into this car and understand what Chase needed behind the wheel. All day today, Chase has been mainly critiquing himself, saying the car's okay, I just need to hit it better, and that's good lessons for him for tomorrow.
Yeah, Dave, he continues to get better lap after lap. Right now, Chase Elliott running in the 4th position, again filling in for Michael Annett. Austin Cindric is out in front. He's got a 1.6 second lead over Myatt Snyder. Then it's A.J. Allmendinger, Chase Elliott, Ty Gibbs. They are the top 5. Austin Dillon, Justin Haley turning some very fast laps now, right now in 7th. Noah Gragson, Harrison Burton, and Spencer Pumpelly are all inside the top 10. We're going to go NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing. Here's the pass for the lead. Austin Cindric makes the move by Ty Gibbs. already a big day for Team Penske as Will Power won the IndyCar race earlier. Right now, Austin Cindric is running up front, and another Penske driver hanging out with Rutledge.
Right, Rick, I found Brad Keselowski over here at turn 4 watching. Man, what do you think about this? Are you ready for the Cup race tomorrow?
This is a heck of a view, and there's a race going on too. You got the party deck over here, turns 4, 5, 6. I was down here, we just saw Sam Mayer spin out in the wall. A lot of action for sure.
Are you ready? I mean, one practice, I mean, qualifying tomorrow, this is crazy.
Yeah, ready enough, right? Ready enough, but you're never going to be fully ready for a road course race. Very limited practice, but watching Xfinity cars, trying to soak up and learn what I can.
Have you noted where to not go airborne? Because we just saw Denny Hamlin's watching that as well.
Yeah, I feel like there's an off-road truck race here as well. You know, you saw the big jumps, saw an IndyCar, and now the NASCAR side. So I saw Kevin Harvick just a few minutes ago, and he told me to look out, and then I saw the replay, and I'm like, yes, sir.
Ivan Stewart, the Iron Man, looks like he's stopping by. Brad Keselowski watching for the race tomorrow on NBC. It's going to be huge.
At 1 o'clock start time for the Cup race tomorrow. Looking forward to that. We'll kick it off with Countdown to Green at 12:30 again on NBC. Make sure to join us for that. And Parker, it looks like Myatt Snider putting together some pretty good laps here.
He was now just falling back from second, but what a great run by Myatt Snider here, just getting passed by Allmendinger and Chase Elliott there, but in the top 5. And you know, I was talking to him earlier today, and he said, I watched last year's race back, and one thing I noticed, with about 5 or 6 laps to go, Justin Haley was in 5th place. He finished 2nd. He said, if I can just be in the top 5, which I think we have the speed to do late in this race, I still think we might have a chance of getting into victory lane here. So he's struggling a little bit under the brakes and been struggling to drive off late in the corners, but definitely a great run for Myatt Snider here in the 2.
And the 2 cars with the most pace on the racetrack, in my opinion, are the 2 colored cars. Allmendinger in 2nd, Haley in 5th. You know, they decided to stay out there and got that caution, and now they're trying to race from behind, Dave.
Guys, we heard Rick mention earlier Spencer Pumpelly having a good run today in the Johnny Davis Motorsports Zero car, and it's actually pretty amazing. Spencer is in this car because Jeffrey Earnhardt, who normally drives it, stepped aside, wanted to get some points from an experienced road course racer. As you see Andy Lally, another experienced road course racer, going around him for that 11th position. But the amazing thing to me, this is the same car that Spencer crashed as the number 6 at Road America. Do you remember that crash? He was going down into turn number 1, lost, or actually it was more than that, further down the track, and crashed right here. And it was pretty amazing how he got through the crash. This is the one we were talking about. Look at this right here. Pow! Into the tire packs. I asked the team, this is the same car? They said, yeah, the tire packs did their job. Just a little bit on the rear end damage, and Spencer was good to go, rebadged as the Zero car.
Pretty impressive to get that car back to be able to run on the racetrack. As we see again, Spencer Pumpelly currently running in the 11th position. Andy Lally just behind him. You see the 7 of Justin Allgaier back there as well. Myatt Snider, look at the run he's got now as trying to defend against Haley. Haley, as you mentioned, one of the fastest cars on the racetrack. Allmendinger and Haley have been quick. Haley now up into the 4th position. He'll be chasing after Chase Elliott. It's Cindric, Allmendinger, Elliott, Haley, and Snider, the top 5.
Myatt Snider getting gobbled up here pretty quick. Justin Haley has gotten by, and now he looks in the rearview mirror, and here comes Ty Gibbs right behind him in the 54. You're watching the battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. This is heading into turn number 3, a right-hander. Everybody now floating out wide into turn number 4. They'll cut down to driver's right. They'll hit the gas very briefly and now open it up. And here's turn 5. There's turn 6. Justin Haley and company through that, headed to the back straightaway.
Cars getting a little strung out right there through those corners down this straightaway. See AJ heading off into turn 7 with Chase Elliott seeming to get better and better as this race goes on. We saw the same thing from Chase at Road America in the Cup race. Not really quick right out of the gate. Got better and better, ended up being the car to win that race.
And there's a lot of Cup drivers watching this race doing, oh no, just gave Chase Elliott a lot of laps on a racetrack that a lot of these drivers don't know anything about. Chase Elliott, with no practice, just a few laps qualifying, has found his way to get this car to the top 3. Chase Elliott is not a good road racer, a great road racer. This experience will help him a ton tomorrow.
And it's interesting because we talk about how Chase Elliott has become one of the best road course racers right now in NASCAR. He never won an Xfinity Series race. When he ran in the Xfinity Series and won a championship, his best finish was 4th. He did it 3 times, and now all of a sudden in the Cup Series, he is phenomenal on the road courses. So Chase Elliott, he's up to the 3rd position. We're going NASCAR nonstop. You won't miss a thing. Yep, 5 more races. Yep. So next Saturday, the Xfinity Series, we're going to be running at the 2 Mile Michigan International Speedway. That race coverage on NBCSN beginning at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. And a reminder, there's just 5 races to go in the regular season for the Xfinity Series. Different, obviously, than what's taking place for the Cup Series. There's only 3 races to go there in the regular season, but 5 races remain in the regular season. We talked about championships and locking into the playoffs. The big day for Michael Annett not being in the car, Riley Herbst in the car, gaining a lot of points. So those types of things are coming into focus now as we get close to the end of the regular season.
There you see the points as we run, and Herbst is +9. But another interesting thing is Clements, even Jones, they're dropping back into this battle at the bubble. Annett, although he is losing out right now, still has an opportunity if he can outpoint Herbst or Clements or any of those guys. It was really a 2-guy battle, but it's starting to shape out into about a 3 or 4 car battle here for the bubble line.
Austin Cindric right now with a 3.6 second lead, Dave.
Yep, being chewed into just a little bit by Allmendinger. But the reigning series champion, one of the things that made him so good last year and continues to make him good this year is the diversity of his talents. He's won 4 times this year, none of them on a road course, which was his significant talent when he came into this series. So today, if he can add this to the list, why not? And when I talked to Austin earlier today, I caught up to him studying for this race, while at the same time he was studying for tomorrow's race, looking at data and watching the IndyCar race. So not only is he very talented, he was triple tasking and taking advantage of this great weekend we have here at Indianapolis.
Could be a great day for Team Penske. Will Power wins the IndyCar race earlier. Austin Cindric currently has a 3.5-second lead over Allmendinger with 7 to go.
This is all really good as long as we don't have a late yellow. You know that these guys really can't get away from each other when you bunch them back up. But as long as they stay under green, this 22 car has the pace and the lead to be able to put together great corners, not be pressured into making mistakes, not be under attack from A.J. Allmendinger. But if we get that yellow, the whole game changes.
Yeah, remember back to last year's race, Allmendinger and Cindric leaned on each other hard. Ultimately, I feel like they both said, well, you're not going to win. Yep, that's right, you're not going to win either. And they both, had great chances to win the race and just got into a battle, and it went away for both of them. So if you get that, drivers never forget. Be interested to see how aggressive it gets. Saw Cindric right there, back of the car, slid around just a little bit, still good pace. That last lap, he was about a 10th.5 faster than Allmendinger.
Allmendinger looking for any opportunity that Cindric gives him. Back here in the 10th position, Harrison Burton. Parker.
Right, and I got to give him a shout out for this recovery of this 20 car. He was involved in that incident lap 1, hopping those curves, gets a big slide there. You can see how messed up that front splitter is. This car at one point in the race didn't have the sway bar connected. They changed that. They changed the left front shock. They got that splitter pushed down. The team jumped on this car, and now he finds himself in 10th place. He's pitted 6 times in this race compared to the leaders who've only pitted twice. This is a great recovery by Harrison Burton, this 20 team, to get into the top 10.
What a battle this is right here. That got tight coming into turn 1. Noah Gragson almost turning Myatt Snider. Myatt's been able to hang on to the spot. This is the battle for the 6th position. You got Myatt in 6th, Noah Gragson in 7th as they head to turn 7.
Yeah, Noah had pretty good pace at this racetrack last year. He's kind of been under the radar today, but working himself into a battle for 6th position. Myatt struggling just a little bit with the balance of that car as he's starting to slide back through the top 5. Noah's going to try to set him up here off of turn 10 for an opportunity at turn 11.
Yeah, 2 young drivers. Mike got that win early in the year, but it's been tough since then. Noah Gragson, he's had a really tough start of the year. Both of these guys just need a calm day, right? Just a day where they don't have problems. Noah's been getting them lately. Myatt Snider's been fast all day. Noah, I just feel like that 9 car, they've started to get solid. They started to get good, consistent finishes, and I think we counted them out early, but as these playoffs approach, they may be a threat.
As you see on the screen, Ty Gibbs comes to pit road. We thought he'd be fine on fuel. From all the information I had, I thought he would be good, but he came to pit road for a reason. I'm not sure if this is a fuel situation or a tire situation. We'll have to see. Maybe they're not getting as good a mileage as we thought.
Steve, it's fuel for sure. They said if fuel pressure changes to the low side, bring it to us. He said it was way down just to 8 pounds, and so he said, yeah, it's going to stumble, and it did bring it down. So Ty Gibbs, after starting 5th, leading 4 laps today, it looks like his amazing run this year will not continue today, but don't forget, he'll be back for more next time, next race.
Only 27 laps on that tank of fuel with some yellow, so surprising. Maybe they didn't get it full, or maybe we just are off on our fuel calculations, but we haven't heard any other conversation from the leaders. They're going to have to go, close to 28, 29 laps for some of them.
Still a lot of pressure here between Myatt Snider and Noah Gragson. Gragson still looking for win number 1 in 2021. Myatt Snider has a win. He's locked into the playoffs. Coming up on 4 laps to go from Indianapolis Motor Speedway and the road course.
And Rick, you see the gap, 4 seconds from Cindric to Allmendinger, Elliott, Haley, the top 4 as we watch this battle between the 9 And the two, this all came about that pit decision. At the end of stage 2, Cindric pits under green, gets his pit stop done, the calling cars stay out, the caution comes out, that gives Cindric the track position.
And with less than 4 laps to go, here comes Austin Cindric through this end of the racetrack. He's got a great lead. He's almost got a 4-second advantage over A.J. Allmendinger. And just watch how he floats the car in here. Just eases it down on the rumble strips. He's not asking more than the car can give him. He's very smooth at this portion of the racetrack. He's just leading turn 6 right now.
Yeah, if he gets a win here today, he's going to tie A.J. Allmendinger as a 5-time road course winner in this series. Here's the battle right here. Still going on between these two. Go! The 9 car hangs a tire off the racetrack, almost spins himself out, and then right behind him, Austin Dillon. Where did he come from? He had no pace all day long. They've worked hard on this car to put him in position. Austin's hung in there, battling with these guys as they're fighting it out for this position, allowing Austin to become a part of it. We're going through turn 8, 9, and 10. Nobody close enough to really make a move just yet. Got to try to set each other up into one of these long braking zones to be able to make a pass.
You talk about Austin Dillon, he's worked really hard, knowing how important road racing is. Big improvements. We haven't seen him contending for wins, but you know, we would see him running 28th, 32nd, and now he's starting to run 12th, 14th, 15th in the Cup Series. So a big improvement from Austin Cindric, but it's come through hard work. It's come through dedication. That's why he's here today. Get that road course experience. Remember, he spun in turn 1. Just a good recovery.
Under 3 laps to go, and we mentioned Austin Cindric and records being broken. Well, now he has passed Marcus Ambrose for the most laps led in the Xfinity Series in road course racing.
Here's the battle for the number 3 position. Chase Elliott looks in the rearview mirror. Justin Haley starting to loom large in that rearview mirror. That is a great battle. And Justin Haley, who's done a great job today, will take it into turn number 4. He's trying to get around Chase. And right now they battle for that 3rd position. Elliott's just trying to hang on to the car as they glide through that chicane headed to the back straightaway.
Haley has just a bit newer tires, a few more laps. You can see the balance and the grip going away on this number 1 car for Chase Elliott. Chase gets down here into turn 7. Not quite as much performance in the braking zone as Haley closes in, but Chase has a really, really wide arc. Uses a lot of curve right there. Look how he tries to get way over here to set himself up for this corner here so he can get a good drive off.
Yeah, just using all the racetrack. It's such an important part of road racing. It helps set you up for the upcoming corner so you can get the angle right. See how far out he is? Up, like that right front brake up, just a little bit. No damage done. Look how far to the right he gets. Just trying to get the car to turn, leave that corner straighter to get the rear tires. Now a problem. Out of the groove, Haley taking that spot.
Interesting, because Haley will be full-time in the Cup Series next year. Maybe a little lessons learned here in the Xfinity Series following after the reigning Cup Series champion in Chase Elliott. But it's Haley now who has taken the spot away and is 3rd, chasing after Cindric and Allmendinger.
Less than 2 to go. Haley right now is just trying to leave Chase Elliott in his wake, and that's exactly what he'll do. Coming out of turn number 1 and through turn 2, Haley up strong into throttle in the gearbox. Elliott starting to fade here as we work with less than 2 laps to go at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. That's a great shot of Elliott. He's just trying to hang on to this race car, trying to bring it home into the top 5. Shouldn't have any problem with that, as again, this battle is headed towards Dale Jr. in 7.
Yeah, not much of a battle anymore. I think the 1 car understands the grip just isn't there to be able to put up a fight. We watched the 22 car with a very comfortable lead. Cindric through these final corners here, headed up to Jeff Burton and the white flag.
Well, you can see right there, Marcus Ambrose, A.J. Allmendinger. Cindric, if he gets this win, will tie those guys. Kyle Busch with 4, Ron Fellows with 4, Terry Labonte. 2 great names, Fellows, Labonte. Austin Cindric, you guys mentioned it earlier, Penske driver won the IndyCar race. What a great day for Mr. Penske if he could get a win in this doubleheader.
A little over a lap to go now as they come up on the start-finish line. It's 1 lap to go, presented by Credit One Bank. One more time around this almost 2.5-mile road course here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Austin Cindric has really put on a great display here. He's led 28 laps already, a big day for the family. Tim Cindric is here. He's the president of Team Penske. Normally he's on the road. He's following IndyCar, and a part of that series as it goes from track to track, he's able to now watch his son. Megan, his mom, normally took him to the racetrack when he was a kid. She's able to watch and enjoy what Austin is able to do. So a big day for the Cindric family and potentially a big day for Penske.
Come down this back straightaway, just a few more corners away from kissing the bricks here at Indy. He's on a 6-race winless streak in road course. Even though he's dominant at these tracks, this is his longest drought. Trying to hope to come around these final few corners and in that. You know he's excited. Coming around to you, Burton. A few more corners with his 22 car. He's got himself a win.
Yeah, Junior, I told you this morning, I thought the field had closed the gap a little bit on Austin Cindric. He looked at me and said, nah, hadn't happened. You were right, Austin Cindric, just so smooth today. Didn't look like he had the best car early in the race, but just managed it. Nice job coming to the start-finish line.
Looking for his 5th win of 2021 and looking ahead to 2022. He'll be a full-time Cup Series driver, driving the 2 car for Team Penske on the Cup side. But today he's going to win at the historic Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Cindric gets the win.
You are the man. That was... Pit crew, you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Austin, helmet.
Celebration all around for the 22 team. A great day once again. Now a sweep on Saturday for Team Penske. Will Power wins the IndyCar race. Now Austin Cindric wins the Xfinity Series race. He'll race tomorrow at 1 o'clock in the Cup Series race on NBC. His final start in the Cup Series for 2021 as we see still through the results.
You mentioned he gets to race tomorrow. The top 4, Cindric, Allmendinger, Haley, Elliott, all 4 will be in the Cup race tomorrow.
Could you have made that a duet? Do you know exactly what he was singing there?
I was just going to pass by and hopefully nobody was going to point out his singing. Heck of a driver. Well, let's go back to that. Heck of a driver.
What a day.
I used to roam, and when I dream about the moonlight on the Wabash, then I long for my Indiana home. Woo!
Jim Neighbors definitely a better rendition than what we're getting out of Austin Cindric, but I'm impressed right there.
I'm very impressed. Very impressed.
Hope it's better than your second. Oh, I'm sure Jim Neighbors.
Oh, Eddie's referencing Jim Neighbors here. Jim Neighbors, famous obviously for Gomer Pyle, and he's famous for singing back home in Indiana before the Indianapolis 500 for so many years. And now Austin Cindric wins at this famous racetrack. Only the 2nd Xfinity Series race on the Indianapolis road course. The first one went to Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe now running in the Cup Series. The 2nd race goes to Austin Cindric. He'll be racing in the Cup Series next year. It might be the new indicator. You win at the Indianapolis road course and you take that next step. Almost 50% of the laps led by Austin Cindric today. Allmendinger finishing 2nd. Haley is 3rd. Chase Elliott coming home 4th. Noah Gragson was 5th. Austin Dillon 6th. Myatt Snyder fell back to 7th. But his best finish on a road course in the Xfinity Series as we see Cindric climb out of the car. Crowd here acknowledging what he was able to do today.
Final stage ran under green flag conditions, and Cindric, that's what he needed. Never put a wheel wrong the whole time. 19 straight laps under green.
The crowd responds. The flag actually fell off the stick. He didn't drop the flag. It came off the stick. And Dave Burns is down there with him.
Well, you know, not everything is perfect in this world, so we'll give the checkered flag another chance next time. But Austin, you just won at the Brickyard. Indianapolis winner, Austin Cindric.
Unbelievable. First of all, I got to thank Roger Penske for every opportunity I've had in my career, every opportunity he's given you race fans to enjoy this beautiful weekend with 3 race series. How awesome is this facility now, guys? It's amazing. I'm so proud to be part of this Penske family, and PPG, everybody, Ford, everybody that's put so much into my career. But obviously this racetrack is so much deeper than just that. My family history and what this place means to me. I mean, I can't even put into words what it means to win at Indianapolis.
We know you played the tuba in high school. What was going on with singing back home again in Indiana?
I didn't even know I knew the words that well. At least remember them that well, but hopefully I didn't make Jim Neighbors roll over in his grave. I know I was here the last time he sang the song, and it gives me goosebumps every time. I'm sure it does everyone else. So proud to be here, proud to drive for Roger, and proud to win at the Speedway.
You said proud to drive for Roger. All around Team Penske, you see the evidence of Indianapolis there. What does it mean? How big is it to take home a trophy?
There's nothing bigger. Nothing bigger.
There it is, the seriousness of it, because he's got more to do tomorrow, guys. Another race for Austin Cindric, and you fans, you'll be here to see it. Austin could win too, and it could be a Team Penske sweep tomorrow.
IndyCar win goes to Will Power. Xfinity Series win goes to Austin Cindric. A few Penske drivers that would love to find victory lane tomorrow. The very first time the Cup Series will run the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. A new tradition starting tomorrow.
And you can see the relief, the excitement for Austin Cindric to get back to victory lane. Disappointment a year ago. He was one of the favorites, ran 5th. He was perfect today.
He gets the win. We'll talk to more drivers when we come back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and we'll see if we can get the checkered flag fixed for Austin Cindric. A huge day tomorrow after we saw a great day today. Tomorrow's schedule, 9 o'clock on CNBC. It'll be Cup Series qualifying. Again, a tradition starting on the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course. Countdown to green at 12:30. That's on NBC. Make sure to join us. And then at 1 o'clock, just after, will be the green flag for the first ever running of the Cup Series on the road course. And of course, post-race coverage will be on NASCAR America on NBCSN. Taking a look at the playoff standings now. Austin Cindric, 5 wins, 33 playoff points already, and a dominant performance being put in by Austin Cindric, defending his championship in the Xfinity Series. Michael Annett, 13th now on the list. 12th is Riley Herbst, 10 points separating those two.
Yeah, Michael Annett unfortunately was not able to take part today due to injury, but Riley Herbst did what he had to do. He scored points in the stages, ran 8th in the race. So even though, you know, Michael wasn't in the race, it was no guarantees. Riley came out and had a great run when he needed it. Now he has 10 points. Man, that's not much. 5 races still remaining.
Well, and you think about it, he gained 11 stage points today, and so that was almost the difference there as far as the difference right now between Herbst and Michael Annett. So once again, Speedway, Indiana, and the racing capital of the world will be the eyes all focused on tomorrow for the Cup Series right here at this racetrack. And we see now the officials are over there taking a look. That's just outside of turn 6 where we saw cars airborne right on the first lap, taking a look at that curb that's over there.
Yeah, probably want to see how the curb held up. It was tested today without a doubt. Some heavy impacts. So we'll see what they decide here from the curbing, but it was definitely a point of conversation in the race. From lap 1, we saw some cars run out of real estate, and that curb was a big effect.
Steve, interesting you stay lap 1. Let's go back to last week, lap 1 of the IndyCar Series at Nashville. That's Marcus Ericsson. He got airborne at the start of that race and then went on to win it. That's how he came back after the front wing was replaced, put on. And then think about what took place today in the IndyCar Series. Here's McLaughlin. Whoa, airborne. That's right, completely off the ground. And the Xfinity Series, they did not disappoint. Look at these cars. Harrison Burton getting up. I mean, it was unbelievable how many cars hit that curb. And how about Chris Wright, Steve? This was your favorite, I believe.
Unbelievable. Well, the earlier ones were drivers left. This was drivers right. Just a huge launch of that car. The curbing's put in place to kind of, you know, try to keep the cars on the racetrack. Here we go. In all seriousness, though, I am a pilot. Puts his pilot.
He's got his pilot's license.
Hey, listen.
Wow.
I mean, that's not a flight I would like to join him on, but it was definitely a flight.
I would wonder if he got clearance.
Yeah,
before he took off for that one. What a ride he had. And coming home second was A.J. Allmendinger. Let's hear from him. Houston Parker.
For the second week in a row, A.J. Allmendinger at a road course finished his second, this time to Austin Cindric. You were able to cut into his lead there at the end. What more did you need to run him down?
College Racing needed a better driver today, quite honestly. I messed up way too much early, got us all off track, and then just, you know, it's tough sometimes with these road courses in the Xfinity Series with the way the stages line up, because you either win the stage and then you're kind of hurt for the next stage, and they did a great job. They went for the win and had confidence that they could restart up front and get out there, and we had that really fast Hyper-Ice Chevy. I was awful today.
I just saw you have a discussion with Myatt Snyder. What was the discussion there between you two?
I just told him I liked his flames on his car.
A.J. Allmendinger obviously disappointed finishing second.
Do you think he really told him he liked his flames on his car?
I don't, and I know AJ is being a little hard on himself, but I'm going to put the blame 50-50. He may not have drove the perfect race. He absolutely made mistakes early. He sat on the pole, didn't lead the first lap, lost positions. But you go to the pit box as well. You know, the Cindric, the 22 car, you know the stages are coming, and it has to be a decision in time. Do you want points or do you want track position? Cindric chose track position, pitted before the yellow came out. We saw the 7 of Allgaier try to get to pit road. Well, remember, both colored cars passed the entrance to pit road under green flag conditions, so they chose to run for the points. Now, look, it's their prerogative to try to race for the points, move up in the point standings, but I believe that was the difference maker. You give Austin Cindric the track position, 19 laps green. You know, we could have saw yellow, but we didn't. It's very hard for anyone to make up that much time, as you see right there. You mentioned dad/president of Team Penske in the house.
Yeah.
Mr. Zarnicki.
Yeah, a lot of people able to celebrate with Austin Cindric.
So I understand what AJ's talking about, but you know, I thought Team Penske driver through crew really just performed very well today, right? Kept track position and ran some great laps.
Allmendinger again finished in second. His colleague teammate Justin Haley was third. Parker caught up with him.
Justin Haley led 17 laps today, finishes third. You got the lead early, but you guys chose to stay out and get those stage points in stage 2, which put you guys way back and had to drive to the field. Did you agree with that call?
I don't know. I'm not the race strategist. I'm just a driver. So I'm really proud of the third place. I think me and AJ probably had the best cars today. I think we showed that. Everyone on this Lead Filter Gut Protection Chevrolet team did a great job. Proud of Colleague Racing for second and third. It's just a difference of that restart right there. Just being in the right lane on the restart. At the end of stage 1, I was in the right lane, right? And then at the start of stage 2, I wasn't. So just how the games go. This is my third trip to Indy, my hometown, and my third top 5. So I'm pretty proud about that we can come and run pretty good in our hometown.
You got the stats down pretty well. What's this do for your team looking forward as we rumble towards the playoffs to build the momentum for you guys?
Yeah, we came with a different package this weekend that was more fit to me, and I really enjoyed it and liked it, and I thought we could have good speed with it. So we've got a little string of races here where we've really put something together, and just gaining that playoff momentum is obviously key.
Great run for Justin Haley and his 11 team.
When Chase Elliott's day began, it was going to be maybe a chance to watch a couple of races and get one practice in. When did you get the phone call, and how enthused were you to actually get some laps on this track?
Yeah, actually got the call. I was still asleep this morning when I got the call, and I rolled over and I had 10 missed calls, and one was from Chad Canales. It was the last one I saw. I was like, I've done it. I've slept through I've slept through practice, and I'm getting fired. It happened today. That's like nightmare fuel for a race car driver. So fortunately, that was not the case. Unfortunately, Michael couldn't drive today. Obviously, hope the best for him first and foremost. But it was an opportunity for me to get some more laps that I couldn't turn down on a new racetrack for us. So yeah, it was a good experience from where I started the day to where I felt like we finished was a lot better. So I'm excited for tomorrow. Appreciate everybody at JRM, Chevrolet, Hendrick Engines, everybody for letting me come drive, and for Hooters for letting me come do it too. I have an event I got to get to. I'm a little late for, so really appreciate their partnership and looking forward to seeing those guys tonight and getting behind the wheel of their car tomorrow.
Heard you coaching yourself today a little bit over the radio. What was the biggest learn for you?
I don't know that there was one spot in particular. It was a lot of little things around the track. And then for me, just getting a little more smooth, throughout the day. I felt like I was kind of choppy and never found a good rhythm. And then that last run, I felt like I started to put some decent laps together. So felt better. So we'll see.
For today, Chase qualifies and races his Cup car tomorrow.
One of the great things about Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and with Roger Penske taking over, they've changed some things with Victory Lane. You actually take a lift to get up into Victory Lane, and right now DJ and Kyle Petty are there with race winner Austin Cindric.
Yes, we are. Here, a great opportunity. I know that last year was a little disappointing as you battled late in that race. It kind of looked like that you were so focused on making this happen today. You weren't going to let this get away, and especially after Will Power took the IndyCar race earlier.
Yeah, it's obviously great motivation when your team definitely gives you an ante up, but no, it's an amazing job by my team. These guys spent 2 really late nights this week making sure this car was in tip-top shape, and that effort obviously pays off. The amount of effort that Roger and his team at IMS, Doug and Mark Mile, all the guys that make this facility so nice and so inviting to the fans. I mean, driving out on pace laps, seeing that many people sitting on the hills waiting for the race, it's so cool to see. And growing up going to this racetrack, it means the world to me.
Yeah, you talk about the amount of effort. What about the amount of effort you put into it? I know
it's my job.
Yeah, no, I know it's your job. I know it's your job, brother. But you said when you walked up, I was just praying that last 14 laps that a caution didn't come out because it had happened to you before. Was that your main concern after we went green? Was just the caution, not anybody catching you?
Absolutely. I felt like I had the pace in the car, and like I said, I had the gap, so I knew AJ had to use up his stuff to try and get back up to us. And I felt like the last 2 races, Watkins, Lennon here, he and I have been really dead even. So I have a lot of respect for him. I feel like there's a lot of mutual respect between the two of us, and I'm glad we can laugh it off 90% of the time. But no, it's great to have competitors like that that push you, and obviously the no give up attitude goes a long way in this sport.
Okay, so you've had like 15 minutes since you won this, so we're going to move on to tomorrow already because we have a big Cup race at 1 o'clock on NBC here tomorrow, and you're in that. And we saw you run really, really well at Road America in the Cup race until you had a mechanical issue. What are your thoughts about tomorrow and your chances of sweeping the weekend here?
I got to get to the end, man. I got to get to the end, and I want that more than a win, honestly, because, like I said, Road America, we had a mechanical failure. Kansas, we ran in the top 10 and got taken out by a lap car. Like Daytona 500, we run up front and get in a big fiery crash, and so it's my goal to end my last Cup race of the year on a high note, get money line them those guys a good run that they deserve, as well as Miles Stanley and all the guys on the 33 car. That team has to put in extra effort because those guys all have 2 jobs. A lot of the 12 car helps out with us, so there's a lot of effort that goes into me running those part-time races, so I'm appreciative for that, and I want to make the most of it.
Okay, were you ever in a position, and the curbing over here in the back, right? First lap, we have an accident right over here. On the curb that's a little bit over towards, just past the, and you can see the monitors right here. There's a curb right past the ripple strips, and these guys got forced out here. You see these cars get up in the air right here. Did you see any of this from where you were at? And I've got another follow-up question.
So AJ and I had 2 opportunities for give and take. One was on the first lap of the race, and one was, I think, on the restart where Noah passed me. But it's give and take. But I feel like if there's a car that's going to hit it not wide on the corner, they're probably going to hit in the grass. But not sure of the result there. But overall, I think they did a great job with the track. I felt like it was pretty self-policing, and I think that's what they aimed for.
Yeah, you put a ripple strip over there, it should be self-policing because you're going to wipe yourself out. Here's what I want to know. They all come from a racing family. I come from a racing family. Victory Lane here at Indy. Your granddad stood here. Your dad has stood here with Roger many times. What does it mean to you, to that right there, to stand here?
It's a racer's dream, man, and it's not the win. It's getting here and being able to compete. I think everyone that walks into this place, driving through Gasoline Alley for practice, knows what this means, and you guys know what this means. Yep. And you know, I on my dad's side of the family, I mean, my grandfather Carl Cindric, we lost him earlier this year, but he struggled a lot of years to try and make the show, and it's about people like that really push motorsports forward. And I wish he was still alive to see that win today, and I know he's watching from above and making him proud.
Yeah, well, we know you got more things to do to go celebrate. I believe you probably wanted out there at the Yard of Bricks.
Yeah, man.
Enjoy. Great job today.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Congratulations.
Good luck tomorrow.
Yeah.
That tradition will continue. The kissing of the bricks. Austin Cindric has earned it. It was started by Dale Jarrett. That's pretty cool to get the attaboy from him.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.